maybe trying too hard to get control of the map. The Disruptor very far forward there.
Oh, their momentum has been killed in this game. Heroic starting to take a lot more control than I expected.
Sage spots KJ, trying to take some Lotuses, and he's got no allies in the area. He's definitely gonna die. And BB team know it too, thanks to this lane ward they have at bottom.
Awkward area to end up as the Chen.
Yeah.
He's getting farmed though. You gotta remember this Chen lineup. That like 30, 35 minute mark, you get that third aura item on him, you have Hand to God to back it up. That's a lot of HP for this BB team to get through. They have pretty good single target focus, but their AoE team fight is really lackluster. So they have to pick their mark very well. They have to all in that first core that they see. Potentially even reset the fight after that. Getting one kill is not gonna get them a team fight victory here.
Save getting a bit of information. Spotting some heroes, maybe trying to block any potential smokes. Playing off this ward.
I would be surprised if BB want to fight right now. It just doesn't look possible.
I mean, the way that Katomi is playing into Heroic, I don't know. It's a little different. You know, 5, 6, 7 minutes ago, yeah, BB team had full control of the game. They may be able to pick off Analog here. Yeah, he is shot down, just too much damage.
Playing around that one ward they have down there, super nice find. Felt confident with the shield room plus Hand to God, but the Vessel off of GPK will negate a lot of that potential healing to come through. It gives you confidence to go for these pickoffs, and that's where this lineup will thrive. Just keep finding solo kill pickoffs. Don't let Heroic group up and take objectives to force the team fight. You're going to be a lot happier around the map. We see what the anti-mage is doing top. He'll instantly get pinged. I mean, you can ping him, but to go and kill this man takes a lot of time, takes resources.
Yeah, if you don't kill him right now, he's gonna have a Manta, making it even harder to pick him off when you get that jump, like that silence from the Quap, for example.
Interesting smoke from BB, going through the gate. Almost like they're reading some sort of play that was gonna go on the AM and they were trying to back him up. Instead, they just run into Whisper.
Yeah, it's just a Whisper. Now he has a BKB. He pops it now. He's got his team joining him. They've got some Suns on Pure. Pure is the one who has to blink away. And what they get out of it, still 250 gold off of that Helm of the Overlord creep. Something to work with.
BB team just out. Continue to farm the map. No reason to take that fight head on. That'll waste the Aegis period here for Yuma. Time's out. So that next Roshan potentially in 3 minutes, you're looking at that. And you really want it if you are Heroic. You gotta gear up for that fight. Could be a fight that BB easily contest if they have some nice item timings for it.
I don't know. I mean, you're going to get Aghanim Scepter on the Void Spirit, but is that going to matter if you're matched up against triple BKBs?
The BKB timing is going to be tough for BB to fight into, but they potentially have Nullifier on Lycan, that Ags on the Void. If you can get to another item on the AM, I think that team fight is absolutely doable. Again, you're looking to go in, get a target, or pop BKBs, reset, kite that fight out, re-engage. It's not just an all-in slam.
Sure.
For Heroic, it's a lot more straightforward. You can just go in and slam.
Yeah, see hero, stun hero, all in.
Especially Yuma. If stuns connect on a target and he can get in there with the rebound, he's just going to shred anybody in this game. This Marcy AM matchup is not fun for AM until, you know, 4th, 5th item, you can start to kite the fight out and maybe survive.
Even then, I don't think it's
still
ever
good for Marcy. Yeah, I don't think it's ever good, but at least then you have a route to take the fight. Right?
Sure.
You can try and dodge and play away from the Marcy, kill other heroes, kite him out. But Yuma's going to be really confident in this matchup, and if he can finish this Daedalus, which is coming out very soon, it's going to take 2-3 seconds of stun duration. This AM's gone. And there it is.
There's the Daedalus and the damage buff up of the Vlads from the Chen.
Could also potentially find an Alpha Wolf in this game. You could buff his damage considerably here.
Yeah, and Bristleback won't say no to that either, right? We have 2 big physical damage hitters. And because we see this Bristleback scale up, we've unfortunately seen a Battle 3 Bristleback even, but the Seeing Red facet is no joke going into the late game. And even the Earthshake, a lot more magic damage out of him, but that Enchant Totem still hits pretty hard. This AM is not going to be protected in this game.
So I think you have to almost go 4 or 5 items on Pure before you take the head-on fight. I just don't think he can enter it. Maybe you get a really nice Mana Void target after BKBs are out.
They know he's here, but the Fisher just a little shy. GPK able to get a jump away, and now Schofield is an easy pickings for BBT.
Their long-range poke and kill is so nice with this trio.
Yeah.
Just so low committal. You can't turn that play. There's nothing to turn on.
Yeah. What much harder for, I think, particularly for Marcy, who is kind of the shortest range core of these initiators. Like, you really need, you can't really contest this like 1500 range that BB team is working with.
No shot. The fight for Heroic has to be within Yuma's range and has to be centered around that Marcy damage. And every time you overreach or that fight gets stretched out, way harder to connect with your biggest damage source. So more time for BB to split this map. Game continues to be dead even.
Yeah, well, look at that. I mean, Whisper is thinking the same thing. Yeah, I need to get on top of these heroes. He buys up a Blink Dagger. Yuma buys up a Blink Dagger. Double Blinks for Heroic, trying to solve the gap close issue.
I like it. More mobility in the fight to find your core target. More instant damage follow-up on the stuns from the Shaker. That could be a big problem for you in this game. The Blinks should fix that. And Analog, he's going to find a gift down here.
Yeah, what is this? Pure, once again, farming just a little bit too aggro. They are more than willing to drop double ultimates to get a big kill like this, particularly when Roshan is in that spawn tier.
That's a huge find. Absolutely huge. Just gifted. I mean, I think that was a look of surprise from Analog. He's like, wait, this is real AM just sitting here farming.
Yeah. That Roche will be in 30 seconds time. So Heroic are going to set up for it, hoping it'll spawn sooner rather than later.
That's a really long spawn for them. A little unfortunate here.
But it also means they can't just keep trying to take fights. They'll run into some wards, clear out the area. Thanks to a gem on Yuma, not even the Wolves are safe to scout out Heroic.
Max spawn. You try and force it now. 15 seconds on the AM. There's a window here. I mean, they have a lot of physical burst to put into this.
I also feel like it's easy for them to do it with just one or two heroes. Not a ton of risk in that regard.
Yeah, you just man up here. I mean, again, BB's pit fighting is pretty lackluster. Even if you're clumped in that pit, what's to punish you? Static storm drop on a mass BKB lineup? Who cares?
And even the Wolves, if they're not killed by the Marcy, they're converted by the Chen. Schofield, I mean, he's been punished a number of times for these aggressive blinks. Apparently, he just does not care. The smoke wraparound, though, is coming from DBT. Moving up through the river, and Heroic have a lot of heroes inside of this pit right now. This is pretty dangerous. They're just all inning for it. Trying to finish up this Roshan now, and they will be able to do so before BB Team strike. Now, a Bushwhack grabs a couple, Sonic Wave goes out, and with Whisper blinking up to the high ground, it's hard for BB Team to get through. Nevertheless, they get on top of the Static Storm and take away the two supports. But do they want to fight this Marcy? After all, he's got BKB, he's got the Aegis, but it looks like Yuma has called it quits. He wants to back away. Whisper doesn't want to do the same. Nullifier placed onto Yuma as he's being hounded by the Wolf, but they go after the Bristleback now, who's just barreling forward still, refusing to back away. Now he pops his BKB, but it's a bit too late. The physical damage, it's stacked up, and he's dead.
Gem on the ground. Beautifully played fight from BB Team. They got the angle, they take the Chen down first. That's your biggest target. Take the sustain, the auras out of the fight. You get the other support on top of that, and then you're able to kite it out. And there's just no ult for Yuma halfway through. He's got to bail in that situation.
Yeah, I don't mind Yuma making the call to bail, but why are they not on the same page? Why is Whisper pushing after kills and Yuma backing out?
It got very disconnected very early. The start wasn't terrible, but they could not protect their supports, and this Lycan is doing some work in these fights. And he's just chasing people down. There's no real control for him. Nobody wants to commit on that target. Big team fight when, even though the Aegis will go to Yuma, he does keep it here. Something Heroic can play around, but not the team fight win they were looking for.
I mean, I think the bigger loss, I think the Bristleback dying, you know, that sucks. But I think the loss of the gem,
it hurts.
It hurts so badly when you're the ones wanting to take team fights. We already saw the last Aegis expire without a big team fight forced, right? Oh, they're coming through the gate. Miro, you see this, right? You see what's coming your way. You just took the Tormentor, but you might just sign for it to get the grab on him. Hit him with a stun, lock him down with a Rod of Eight Toes, and once again, the Unleash combined with the Sonic Wave, they've got him. A Bushwhack, grab on a two, though. See, it's gonna burst down KJ, and he makes a break for it. He's out of here.
Nice little pickup from Save. That is a 7x streak on that Lycan. And
Yeah, Analog's not messing about. He could have waited for that Ghost Scepter to fade away and just enchant Totem hit him, but he didn't want to take any chances.
That's a very hard exchange to evaluate. I feel like it's kind of worth it for the Lycan. The shard went to the Hoodwink. That's the one you wanted here.
Sure.
It's to use that boomerang to pick up another support kill. Like, that exchange is okay, but that was a big streak on the Lycan. A lot of gold going into the Queen of Pain there. Still, it's time for Pure,
who does have a butterfly. So he has an answer, kind of, to the Marcy for a little while.
but he has to pick his blink target perfectly in the fight. Like, if he blinks in and he just ends up in the middle of the bristle of the Marcy, his fight's over.
Yeah.
Nothing to bail him out of that situation. So he really has to let other heroes go in first. He needs to see the fight develop and come in later. It cannot be the first point of contact for BB team. And Heroic will take that every time. I mean, if they see Pure, they're jumping him. They're all in him. Marcy is just going to slay him.
2 minutes left on the Aegis, and the lanes are actually kind of in Heroic's favor. They're getting them all over that mid line of the river.
They have some map
See what they can do with it.
I mean, it's likely they will try and smoke during this Aegis period. I don't think they are confident enough to push mid tier 2 straight up. That feels a little brazen, given how these fights are going.
Whisper trying to catch Analog. He gets him with a blink forward, hits one stun. They need detection. They really want to get this gem back into their favor and should be able to do so. There's just no outrunning this situation. So the gem is back on Heroic's side. That means that they can make these movements without wards or wolves scouting them out as often.
That was the easiest gem recovery of their life.
Kind of was.
Surprised Save was out that far carrying it. Could have given it to GPK or something. I mean, this gem is just so valuable for the wolf scouting. Having confidence about the vision going into the team fight, and you give up pickoffs like this, it's going to lead to objectives for Heroic. They're going to feel a lot more comfortable grouping. This will be a free tier 2 top, as Pure gets a free tier 2 bottom. Santimage picking up the rat action.
And I think he asked a rat because I still don't believe that BB team are going to be able to take the 5-on-5. You've got, even with the Aegis expiring, you've got this Shen who's going to pick up a shard, right? He gets one of those golems. That aura makes this squad, this triple strength core, so tanky. I just kind of don't believe that Pure has the damage to deal with that.
He doesn't want to take the fight straight up, but if you can rat, you can put Heroic in an awkward position. Maybe you get a numbers advantage somewhere. Maybe the single core pickoff that we've seen BB do a bunch of times with the damage from this Hoodwink comes through and gets a hero really low, forces out early BKBs. This kind of chaotic situation can create openings for the anti-mage to come into that fight later. Again, you're not looking to go in here and man fight the Marcy, but he can do a lot of damage. He is incredibly farmed in this game. Helmet Dominator, Battle Fury Anti-Mage is doing what it does best, pushing towards that level 25, getting incredibly farmed. There's a full Abyssal Blade. That is something that lets you fight this Marcy. In fact, you probably have the advantage right now with full Abyssal plus Butterfly before the MKB comes out on Yuma. In fact, well, he just finished it, actually. He's also very farmed, so.
Yeah, I
didn't get a fight out at this exact timing. That's kind of what they're looking for, right? You get this Abyssal, you're, okay, I can go in, I can Abyssal stun this Marcy, I can give us a little bit of a bigger window.
Whisper, he's going to be one to break this smoke. They do not want to go after this bristleback, but maybe they have to. Oh, go! They actually can go for him. Still though, the end time hits on Miro. He gets off his BKB, and Yuma does not get a bash. He couldn't get the lockdown. A glimpse back with the BKB lasts just long enough for Analog. A Fisher as they try and retreat backwards here. Yuma does not see the opportunity. They may have to leave behind KJ, whether it's the Void Spirit or a glimpse. Maybe they can protect him still with the Fisher as he gets up to the high ground. Pure with the Helmet Dom spots him, but Disruptor too far away for now. So in the end, it's Whisper to die. Not much else out of that fight. I guess Schofield did buy back once again. He is certainly not making a whole lot of progress in that network chart.
Just huge burst damage coming out on that first target they run into. No bristleback back interaction. They just go heads up, chain stun him off the Bushwhack Remnant Abyssal. Overwhelming damage. Trying to pick up Save again.
Yeah, Save once again not expected. Ooh, at the Sonic Wave. He tried to push him back into his team. That's okay. All is forgiven as long as the outcome is still income for Heroic.
The crazy thing is they took that Bristle down, they have Heroic on the run, and you're still hesitant to straight up chase with the AM.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't want to blink into this Marcy just yet. will be 25 for Pure. And that'll be Mana Void cooldown. Nice little talent for him. Thinking about BKB here, that would give him a lot more confidence to go in early in the fight. Not afraid of the Shaker chain stun potential.
Now he can Mana Void even more neutral.
It's efficient. Brought the Shaker down bottom, plus the Marcy, maybe looking for a quick pickoff on one of these waves. They will only find illusions. This feels like the point in the game where BB wanted to get to with this lineup, right? You stalled out the early momentum, you fought through those first 2 Roshans. Now you're getting to the late game with the Anti-Mage, with the Lycan split push. You have a lot of scaling to fall back on. You have a Disruptor Ags you can get into. You have 3 more items on GPK that you can eventually build into here. A lot of room to scale.
I feel that way for both sides. I mean, the Void Spirit, known to be quite the menace in the late game, and they've got some very solid supports behind it, but Heroic also have like this tri-core lineup. It's not just all in on the Marcy. I think their biggest problem is going to be, yeah, that man right there, Schofield, and how well he's able to progress. Having to buy back 2 different times, and the sacrifices he took in the laning phase means that he is not scaling the best. But even he is working towards a site device, and as long as he's got levels, he'll have damage.
Smoke coming through, BKB done for Pure. He buys out for this moment.
A fresh blood right for Analog. This Octarine opting for that over the Refresher. They're going to spot Whisper, try and burst him down again. Whisper wants to make sure he gets off the BKB first. But it does mean that the commitment from BB team, they can just go in and out. Oh, the Echo Slam whip there. Analog takes a bit of damage from somewhere, stopping his blink forward.
Got clipped.
Covers them with the Fishers. Miro. Okay, the Midges get the glimpse back. All in for the Earthshaker. The Mana Void is ready to go. Pure will use it, puts it to use, brings down the mid laner Heroic. Now Schofield in some trouble, looking for his blink back inside the base. Heroic again losing the fight, but also still limiting their losses to 1 or 2 heroes. These fights, they just are not clean one way or the other.
Can see what PB team are trying to do though, right? Go and get that target, kite the fight out. They threaten the Chen, you have to BKB Lycan, he gets out of there. There's just no clear jumper target for Heroic. If that Echo Slam lands, it could be a very different story. But Analog is really struggling to find the window here. It's just units constantly on him. There's random damage sources. It's not clean. GPK continuing, just trying to get something out of Heroic right now.
Yuma is not a threat without a Basher.
Nope.
Like this Void Spirit and this Lycan just keep on going into the fight, and there's nothing to control them during their BKBs. You have to get that BKB piercing disable for Yuma. I think there's no other way.
You have Hex on the Queen now. I mean, most of the control that Heroic have, especially with the Hex online now, is them initiating. Them finding the first target and letting the Marcy go in on top of that. I don't think we've seen that for probably 20 minutes.
I think it's always difficult to do, right? That is one of the advantages that Lycan gives you.
100%.
All these Helmet Dom creeps plus the Wolves, they just always seem to have vision over you. Combine that with the Disruptor.
You have to just smoke and jump off the smoke. That's your best chance in this game.
And this may be the perfect opportunity. BB team very brazen in their attempts. It is going to be interrupted by GPK here, but if they get the jump on the GPK, got him with the Echo Slam. A response from Conte on me. It's not good enough. He got a good static storm, but the BKBs are already out. Pure, he's going to go for Whisper once again. Hits a big Mana Void. Whisper, not dead yet. Gets a little bit of heals out of the Chen, and he's staying alive for now. Pure, he has to back away. Miro's right in the middle. They all jump in, but an Echo Slam, no, it doesn't do much. Pure, he finishes off Analog, but the lock-in, Rod of Atos, and BKB is gone for Miro, and so is his life. 2 cores down on the side of BB team for the one of Heroic. Heroic have the advantage for Roshan, but now it's switching over to the other side. Oh, God, the shield rune. Right in front for Heroic, the Scythe device doesn't stop the rune grab here, but they do have an Nullifier. Oh, what a beautiful bushwhack on a 2! They try and blow up Yuma, not quite. He blinks after him, hits him with another bash, and finishes him off. Now Whisper, he's up next. Rod of Atos holding back for now, but he's got to blink up. He'll chase after Whisper. And save once again with the bushwhack. A glimpse back, pulling him back to his demise. Pure working him through. A Scythe device and a buyback. This has to work for Yuma, and he gets it. A monster kill on the enemy. Stops Katomi as well. And that means Heroic. It was a risk, but it pays off. They have controlled the pit.
Sick bushwhacks from save, but BB end up overextending into the Marcy buyback, not ready for Yuma round 2. And Whisper dealt so much damage to that anti-mage. She bursted him down with the Quills 11 stacks, 2,000 going into Pure. He just could not survive the physical onslaught.
The buyback, I think this is coming too late.
Oh, they're
GPK,
committing.
Try jumps inside the pin. Can he grab it? He's got it! GPK, he rips it away from Heroic, and now it came at a cost. It cost them the buyback. If Yuma dies here, he's in trouble. He got BKB unleashed. Now it's Pure. He's in trouble. Gets off the man to hit by a stun. And a missile blade goes off. A Fisher to try and stop him, but he's away. And now danger time. BKB not up for Yuma. He's a dead. A dieback. 2 minutes. Heroic kept the fight on without him, with just one core to do it. And being pounded by the Wolf, Miro chases after them all the way back to their fountain, all the way back if necessary. They will find that third core. And Heroic now on the brink of death. They've been cleaned up all over, and BB team have full control to push as many buildings as they want.
What is there to say? One time and time again, this team goes to GPK to make the plays. Absolutely salvaging that team fight, steals the second life away from Yuma, destroys his presence off of the buyback.
Will
Then
it
you
be
just
enough?
get the chase down. They pass Cheese over to Pure. It was a beautiful itemization usage. Gives him the strength to keep pushing on, and they just want the game here.
As always, Pure has called to end the game. And it's going to be an Earthshaker buyback to try and hold it.
Without the Marcy, though, it just feels impossible. No Bristleback buyback available.
They simply just do not have the damage. Nothing will stop BB team at this point. Try as he might. He tries to go in with his BKB. They pop the cliff, but it is delaying the inevitable. BB team, they have routed you, they have outfarmed you, and they will take game number 1.
What a game one it was. These teams are just here to brawl. There's a lot of creep action going around in the map. I'm sure it's very uncomfortable for Heroic to play, considering how they would prefer to play this game, but that is what you're up against. And this BB team is just, they're weird, man. Like, they have these games where it looks like a struggle, and then at some point, the switch gets flipped, and they are just in zone. They are hitting every spell. They are routing you in the fight. The game just ends instantly within 2 minutes. We saw this yesterday in that game 1 they played. I don't really know what's causing it. I don't know if the early game is just so awkward it slows all their pace down, but once that switch gets flipped, this team is on, and they are terrified.
35 minutes of farming. The Animage has come out of the jungle. He says, I'm done farming. It's time to end the game. And Pure does just that.
The acceleration from BB team closing out this game, I mean, an Aegis snatch is really what turns the tides here across, because there's all these fights around mid, a back and forth between the two teams, but it all comes down to that rush.
One thing I always loved about BB team is that they're ready to use their buybacks, come into the fight, and make sure that they're going to be ready to, like, they are a team that's, I would say, out of the other teams that are still left at the International, that are willing to risk it the most when it comes down to the buybacks. We saw like 2 buybacks in Enigma series, but they are on point. They use those buybacks, and they're going to be winning the fights off of that.
Yeah, that game was awesome. That was like a UFC fight where they just like brawl right at the end, and then one guy gets knocked out. That was S-tier cinema. Like, I love the buybacks from Heroic. I really like that they were trying to like risk it all there. That is well within their character. But on the flip side, BB team is, like Cap said, this is the team for just, we're going down mid, boys.
Yeah.
Throning right now. Even if it's like really risky, they're gonna go for it. Like, you cannot give them that opening. They will take it.
Yeah, I mean, they know exactly when to take it, when it's offered to them. We're going to go towards that earlier part of the game here, though, Lucas, because there was so much done by this disruptor to really help out the lanes, to really help Miro, which you said that Lycan was going to be a big question mark in biding the time for this anti-mage lineup.
Yeah, and he was throughout the whole game. I think Kataomi understood that top lane wasn't really playable in terms of who he's laning against. He was laning against Bristleback, which is not the lane that they want to play to. They got one early kill relatively early on, but he is ready. This is level 3 Disruptor, 4 minutes in. Kind of leaves Anti-Mage alone in the top lane, gets a really good pick-off, and then moves to the bottom lane 20 seconds after, which is going to be resulting in another good kill. Kataomi was pretty much involved in most of the kills at the early stages of the game. That's why this Disruptor pick, when we talked about it, it gives them so much value. Like, they're trying to get out to Yuma's going to try to go with the rebound, but Disruptor's going to be be able to catch him anyway. And the Miero, they needed a good start on him. I think Miero had an insanely good game. And in this type of a matchup, we know that Whisper, he's not the biggest enjoyer of the Lycan. He only has 18 games so far in his professional career on Lycan. The trade that they got, getting this Marcy for Lycan and giving it to Miero, who's one of the better Lycan players in the world, I would say was a big mistake.
I mean, the Lycan just made so much space for the AM, right? He could just single-handedly pressure. I think the lanes was like a huge problem. The waves are always pushed out. Lycan's pressuring on a tower. It just makes it very, very difficult for even the Chen to move forward on the map, right? There's this battle going on in the mid lane. The Lycan creeps is in the mid lane. The Chen creeps is in the mid lane. They're both trying to shove up the wave, but it just gave AM so much time to farm after that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a really interesting thing about the Dom meta in terms of how it's progressed is support's understanding that if they have a safe lane core that is building into Dom, you have these items that give you regen and like health and stats in the lane, so you can actually leave the lane. Like you can get active. It's the Dom is not just affecting the meta for the cores, it's also very affecting the supports as well.
I mean, do you think the matchup actually should go that well for the anti-mage? Because I felt like part of why the early game went so well for the Disruptor is because he didn't need to babysit the AM. You know, the AM had a really good start, he could be left alone, and then he could just run around and setting up kills.
I guess I'll respond to a question with another question, which is like, your understanding of the matchup, isn't that based on a meta where anti-mages weren't going Dominator? Because I feel like that changes things a lot in the calculations.
Yeah, it just changes so much of the viability of anti-mage. That's been one of the biggest questions about us seeing so many more heroes being picked up in that carry role. What really makes it viable? Something though that we weren't really too sure going into this one was if Yuma was going to be showing up today, right? He's been having an amazing series, an amazing performance on the main stage, but for this one on the Marcy, there was a lot of great fights for him, but it was rough to come up against a Lycan in lane, and it required him having to do so much more for the team earlier on.
Yeah, he was doing a pretty good amount of work, honestly. Like you know, we talked about the Yuma rotation through the portal, but even going into the early to mid game, he rotates quite a lot. And on Marcy here, like, he needed to be the hero that's going to deal the damage. Earthshaker has some burst. They're waiting on a Blink Dagger for a while. You know, he's got to get in there and do things. And he was active. Like, this was pretty much the only reason that Heroic was able to stabilize this game past the laning stage.
A big key factor for them. And then we go into more of team fights, something where people are bringing more of the numbers, because that's something around that wisdom rune, right? The 7 and 14 minute, it feels like not everyone's committing the numbers Lacoste, but when it comes for a big objective like a Roche, that is where you're going to see the first big clash of a 5v5.
Yeah, the team fights in general, like anti-mage, he doesn't provide you with much. He's never going to be ready. Pretty much he first joined 35 minutes in, making sure that he has his 6 items. This hero pretty much is never ready. One more, do you need more time? Yeah, just one more big item. And these are very expensive items that he's buying. You know, he's buying the Butterfly, he's buying Abyssal, BKB. He's never going to be ready. And this is the fight where they're going to pretty much get the perfect initiation. Look at what the GPK is doing. He goes in, gets out, and turns him around with the Remnant, and then they're ready to join. You can see that Pure, at this point of the game, he has enough of farming. He's going to be blinking in. And there was also a couple of later fights as well where they were unable to get the Echo Slam. I don't think Heroic, they were on the same page. And at this point, you see that Anti-Mage, he's ready to take the fights. He's ready to jump the target with the Abyssal Blade and blow him up instantly.
I mean, the reason why you're going to really find really good Echo Slams is you think about their heroes like Anti-Mage, Void, Spirit, Lycan. They're not going to be next to each other. They're always playing different sides of the map. They're trying to break your formation. So it makes it very, very hard for the Earthshaker to find a good Echo, in the team fights.
Yeah. There was a moment that we saw how impactful the Echo was, right? When it didn't actually end up connecting.
We have to look at this. I'm curious. I want to look at this very closely because I wasn't sure exactly what clipped analog here, because he had a really great, big echo opportunity. Look at BB all stacking together at the top right of the screen. What was it that clipped him? Oh,
it was Disruptor.
The Disruptor Q. Okay, extremely heads-up play from Katomi then. I mean, we talked about how he performed in the early game, making the rotations for his team. But we can see from this clip that his impact in the fights was more significant than we were even noticing on camera.
Yeah, the Disruptor from the early and now what feels like into that later part of the fights is massive for Disruptor. Yeah. But that Earthshaker not connecting with his Echo was so impactful. They were actually kind of lucky that BB Team didn't take more off of that they had a second chance where we saw a significantly better Echo Slam take place, and that's what led into that next Roche fight and ultimately the Aegis Snatch and then into the BB Team victory.
Yeah, we have to take a look at the Aegis Snatch. I mean, that's a given. Like, it's so funny. We talked about GBK as being the stable one on the team. Like, he always seems to do something clutch to keep his team in the game, even when things are not going so well. This was such an important moment because Heroic was committing all of these buybacks for the fight. Like, this was their Hail Mary.
Yeah.
And BB is like, well, okay, we also need to take a Hail Mary. And GPK in these moments, I don't know what it is, but it seems like he always seems to be able to pull it off.
I mean, this was like the game ender right here. Once they killed the Marcy again, I think the game was like practically over already for Heroic. There's nothing much left they could do in the game. The anti-mage is unkillable. You don't have the Aegis, and yeah, I mean, this is just, you're just thinking about the next game at this point.
I do wonder, as amazing as seeing an Aegis Snatch is, and we obviously see the outcome of that, how much would this have differed if we had have seen the Aegis go to the side of Heroic and have all of those buybacks come out from BB?
I still feel like the BB side are going to be happy with the situation, even though if they don't get the Aegis, but they felt like they could have just ended the game there. That's why they are a very special team to watch, right? I think most teams would maybe just prefer, okay, we have AM, we have the Battle Lake game, let's just not use the buyback and
slow
risk
it
it,
down.
right? Play it slowly. We're still going to be able to win it, but Pure says, no, I want to end the game now, GBK, please go and get the Aegis.
That's because he finally had his items. He's like, guys, I can finally fight. Let's just do it. And of course, GPK going to be our standout player for this game one. You just can't look past it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that Aegis steal, and also the itemization that he did go for. He understood that they need to be able to punch back at the early stages of the game, so didn't go for Aghanim Scepter. Instead, opted to go for Spirit Vessel. That gives him a little bit more tankability. Gives him extra bit of a damage. Like, once you finish off your Spirit Vessel, once you get to tier 2 neutral items with the Strength Threads, you basically have 2000 HP. If he didn't steal that Aegis, I would say that Miero, like, he's kind of my MVP because of how well he moves across the map. And this guy, it's pretty much his meta. I think I said it pre-series that this guy enjoys playing these heroes, and they got a very good pick for him. And also understanding how far he can push the limits of his hero. With that wolf pack, you're getting extra 5 seconds when he gets the kills. And also itemization, like this time around, he didn't go for a relatively early shot that we usually see, opted to go for different items, picking up that AC relatively early on, understanding you're playing against Bristleback, you're playing against Marcy, there's going to be a lot of physical damage coming out, so making sure that the whole team is tanky enough.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at this game from a different point of view. We're going to head on over to Purge, who's going to give us some more details.
Hi everybody, I know what you're here for. It's about Chen, right? That's why you're here? Yeah, he's one of my favorite heroes sometimes, but something that was really interesting about what King Jungles did this game, he got a completely different facet. Every single Chen player that I've seen grabs the Sagers because it helps them control the early game, but there's little things that are interesting about this early Hellbear. It gives an aura for everybody's attack speed in the early game, and if it dies, it gives your team 120 attack speed. So this means you can actually fight your opponents in the laning stage, and Heroic drafted this knowing that draining the Lycan's mana is not that big of a deal, and instead they can use this Hellbear to fight. If you kill the Hellbear, your heroes attack fast, and so you have to go for hero kills instead, and this allowed them to get a really early first blood here. That big chunk of damage, by the way, was the bodyguard linking these two guys together and save attacking him once. He got attacked a couple extra times. So early first blood gave them a really nice advantage. Look how strong this facet can be when he fights. He contests the Lotus by himself with his summon, and he uses his third skill on him, which is going to give him and his creep 5 bonus armor. So 2 different heroes actually get zoned by him by himself with that facet, and he offsets the minus armor from Lycan just by casting that third skill. So look at the pressure that they're able to put on Miero in the laning stage. It's actually kind of a miracle that he was able to recover and have such a good game, because this lane pressure that came from this different facet on Chen was huge. And when the wolves come in, you steal one of them, the one you have has 300 more HP, so they basically just took away his first skill and all of his skill points. Great lane pressure there by Heroic. And then how this transition was really interesting here. They used this Ogre to stack. Basically, King Jungles focused a lot on farming because he wanted to buy aura items, like plus armor items that made them more resistant against the physical damage that was being done. And something really cool about this, about the Chen that got buffed recently, look at this damage for Clap here. He's level 5 and this thing's doing 250 damage. This is his special one that he summons here. So he's basically using this facet to not only win the lane, but also increase his farm speed and counteract his opponent's minus armor. And then he's using his creeps basically just to push out the lane while they go get ready to do stuff, because now he can do this much faster than Helm of the Dominator can. And by pushing these lanes, what it does is set them up for a perfect Roshan. So they basically just stop every single creep from getting in Roshan while they prep to do this. partially using the lane push, because all of those lanes got pushed in really effectively. So everything they send in there to try to kill it gets destroyed, and that's why they were able to take this Aegis before BB Team was able to respond in time. Great use of map control, the summons and all that. It was a shame it didn't work out good enough, but it was some cool new tech that we got to see.
I love to see when a hero has so many viable facets, the way that you can play the lanes so differently. Of course, we see that Disruptor really helping Miro the Lycan get back into this one, but it's crazy how different of a game it would have been just based off that one Chen facet.
Yeah, he's right. I've never seen that one before. I had no idea that the Ursa Creep did 350 damage when you have it maxed out. That's kind of crazy. I mean, obviously it falls off. But for the early game, if you want to farm, you are going to get your auras faster.
Yeah, maybe something that people who like to spam Chen might be starting to pick up for themselves. This arena, by the way, is very full. There's a lot of cheers for both the side of BB Team and Heroic. And someone who's down there right now with our fans is, of course, Tsunami.
Thank you very much. Yes, indeed. The house is packed here tonight. But as I had mentioned at the very beginning of the day, it is a bit solemn. We have to have eliminations. Such is the nature of competition. And for every single iconic moment we've had in Dota, there's always been a team on the receiving end of it. So I'm sure Eastern European fans, do you remember the $1 Million Dream Coil? S4, Puck. I know, it's tough memories for the Na'Vi fans, but the Alliance fans remember it fondly. Meanwhile, Chinese fans are still haunted by the voice of Seb!
And South American fans, yeah, South American fans, we have a lot of these. I mean, there's no TI for South America yet, right? But there's one play that is still in our hearts. Allow me to set the stage, Tsunami. All right. TI-11, there's the Howland. TI-11, Singapore. The smell of chili crab in the air. And, more importantly, hope. For Thunder Awaken has made us the farthest they've ever done at a TI. That's it. Liquid, one of the best teams in the world, fighting in the lower bracket, literally for their life. Last game of the best of 3. Income Sacred gets the black hole, Pango inside of it, 1 HP. 1 HP, and every single South American fan skipped a beat as they saw the Pangolier roll away infested by the life stealer of Meke. All hearts broken, many Liquid fans would cheer, but Thunder Awaken and all of Peru will forever remember this day. But that's what they are, resilient. We are the 1 HP warriors. We're the ones that survive. We're the ones that make it through. 1 game loss means nothing. Heroic can do it this time. Let's go!
If there's one team that's going to benefit from a crowd bomb, it's Heroic. And these guys have looked fantastic when they've been on that verge of elimination. They've got to be more comfortable, right? And I think hearing all those cheers out there from their fans, that's what's going to bring them that energy. I'm hoping they've had the time to really put their heads in the right space here, Lucas. Think about it and come back and be more chaotic than ever. Make sure that we're seeing what South America is really made of.
Oh, for sure. I think this team comes in very well prepared. They have like double coaches that are working quite a lot. Like it's always nice to see from and hear from them because they always give good insights. They're not afraid to show it to the rest of us. But I think a lot of teams that are still in the tournament have hidden strategies, and I want to see something else that is going to come out from Heroic because this one I really didn't feel that much coming out from this Queen of Pain. I feel like there's been good flex that they kept until the end. Even like the damage numbers, if you look at it, I believe he dealt 17,000 damage on Quap, pretty similar to Earthshaker, but something was just not clicking. I want to see Schofield on a bit of a different hero, something that can be more annoying. Even Queen of Pain, she does have a Blink Dagger, but some of these melee position 4s that he really excels playing at, Clockworker, Tuska, I want to see them on heroes like that, something that can buy time, something that can relieve pressure off his mid lane, something that can have a greater impact.
To me, yeah, it's not chaotic enough. It doesn't create enough space on the map. And honestly, I thought Queen of Pain was completely imba about like 2-3 weeks ago, but the meta has changed so much since the road to TI. There's people building all of these DOMs. You know, Lycan is very popular, like tons of summon heroes. I don't think Queen of Pain is that good anymore.
Is that because of those items you're saying that Queen of Pain has kind of fallen off?
I think.
But you also have to look at the reason, right? Why did they want the Queen of Pain there? Because they wanted a hero that could be moved around, flex, and confuse their opponents. But I think they didn't really count for the anti-mage at the end. Or maybe they did, and they figured that, oh, we could just use the top support. But it didn't work out, because for their lineup to work, they really need to get away with like some sort of early game advantage so they can snowball.
Yeah.
But they just didn't do it in the game.
It felt like it was leading up to that for the support Queen of Pain, but we see double buybacks throughout the duration of this game, and I think that's going to slow. It doesn't matter what hero you play, that's going to be.
Well, Schofield's going to do that regardless, no matter what hero he's playing.
Okay, all right. Maybe I'm a little bit misguided on that one.
Yeah, I feel like it just came down to like the strategy that they chose, right? I think in the first game of the series, it's fine if you have some idea that you think it might work.
Yeah.
You know, you try to use the flex pick bet maybe your opponents are not aware of, and you try to lead them astray with the draft. Okay, fine, didn't work. Next game, you have to just keep your heads up, held high, and go for something else.
Our teams are waiting in the wings, eager to come back down onto the stage here, get back into their boots, focus up. This is elimination. Heroic, if they can make it back in this series, they will have the best placement that a South American team players have ever gotten. On the side of BB team, their expectations are high. Coming into this one, especially for Pure, who achieved so much at last year's TI, it would feel like a disappointment to get top 6, and it's a feat in itself to even get this far.
Yeah, and I think BB team are also a team that having one game advantage in a series is pretty scary. Like, they're willing to pull out some crazy stuff. I think that they also play better with confidence. Pure in particular is not going to have one of these like 1 in 17 anti-mage games after just winning a game, especially with the anti-mage. Like he's gonna pop off in the next game. So.
I mean, also for Heroic, right? Every time they lose the first game, they kind of lose the series, right? They haven't really played any 3-game series so far, So this is definitely going to be like a huge challenge. How are they going to overcome this BB team?
Yeah, well, that's funny because BB team right now on the main stage, all they've had is 3-game series. So it feels like what exactly is going to win out here in these two teams? Because BB team, there is the confidence that carries over. 100% agree with you there, Jenkins. But sometimes it's a little bit of overconfidence. Maybe they try and think a little too far ahead.
Yeah, it's possible it's a blunder against Heroic, because Heroic does like to play chaotic. If you play overconfident into that and you give them some openings, they will definitely take it.
One scary thing about BB team is whenever we talk about them, this is the one scary team that has an extremely good early stages of the game. We haven't really seen that so far at the TI. I would say that this is something that they've been lacking, but if they can start doing that as well, that they've been doing ever since they've been formed pretty much as a squad, this is going to be a very, very scary team. They already are, but imagine if they can really push the limits, win the laning stage, have that 5k gold advantage 15 minutes into the game.
Yeah, you're right.
This is a team that is extremely aggressive and knows how to close out the games early.
Historically, they've dominated lanes and then snowballed that into a dominating game, but that's just not how it's been so far.
I felt like they've been a lot more patient than compared to like a couple of months before, right? I feel like whenever they were having this sort of lead before a couple of months ago, they would try to push it maybe a little bit too far, hence the the throw-in nature of the team. And in this event, I feel like they have sort of like addressed that. They played more defensive when they could just sit back and farm. And
they muted Pure's mic.
Yeah, and when they needed to go aggressive, they would have tried to use their buybacks and do something aggressive. So I feel like I like that balance. I like that change, and it certainly paid off. So far.
Anything else though? When you guys see this, it could potentially be Heroic's last game on a TI main stage. There's going to be some staples that you guys are eager and itching to see.
I mean, you're dangling it in front of me. I want to see the Pudge if that can come out. Like, I would love to see an early phase Meepo. It wouldn't even surprise me if BB is expecting this and that they first phase ban like these cheesy specialty heroes. I feel like Heroic backs against the wall. Like, they're going to take risks that we have not seen before, because this is them right about to be eliminated.
Yeah, if they have to play like a normal game, I think it's going to be difficult for them. They have to throw things off the balance and try to surprise them.
Just first pick the Meepo. Just whip it out.
I actually wouldn't mind seeing KJ going back on that Shadow Demon as well. I know he still had a really good early game for the Chen, but there was so much when it came to team fights on the way of trying to pick up that hero. But we don't want to discuss Theorycraft anymore. Our elimination series continues between these two teams.
BB Team, versus Heroic. Game 2.
With BB team up one game, they're feeling confident, they're in a good position. Our draft has already begun, and the bans and first picks coming out already, where we're going to see a Nature's Prophet for the side of BB, and of course, here we have an Earthshaker for the side of Heroic. They're going back for it. They feel like they've not lost confidence in it, and maybe it's more open to be flexed now.
It still does a lot in most of these games. So, like, you could see that BB team wanted to invade enemy triangle. They saw him going into the triangle, but they were keeping the distance, not allowing them to get instantly killed on 1 or 2 heroes potentially, but wanted to get something out, knowing that Earthshaker is still going to be very low HP after clearing those Ancients, because you need to drag them close together. But again, you get very good timing on a Blink Dagger after taking the Ancients, and Analog did have a very good time in terms of killing the enemy carry hero. Hero got killed like 3 or 4 times by Earthshaker because he got that early Blink Dagger.
Nature's Prophet to me is such a classic Game 2 hero, because especially if you win Game 1, because I feel like BB thinks that they are just simply the stronger team, and if they can win the lanes, win the early game, they can absolutely up the tempo with this hero. Nature's Prophet is a lane dominator almost against anything, and very few carries can TP around and get kills and take the towers like he can.
I mean, you sort of see like a heavy emphasis on carries that can be around the map to push out waves, right? I think that's why we see it in a resurgence in anti-mage, because he's probably one of the best, right, outside Nature's Prophet to push out those lanes, and we saw it how much he could influence the state of the game by just chopping out lanes and making it difficult for your opponents, and you give your team time to get objectives.
This is very interesting. The bans that just happened, seeing that they are banning out Spectre, which means that this Nature's Prophet is definitely going to be a core. So far, BB team didn't have much success with it. They only played it once. They lost that game. And Nature's Prophet at main stage TI also didn't win a single game. He's been played 5 times. Didn't find much success. I think the nerfs that did happen also are not in his favor. And now you're going to be playing into Earthshaker, into Clockwork. These are 2 very difficult matchups for you, allowing you to get on top of him, having multiple stuns. So he needs to do a lot. Even though he builds into Hurricane Pike, he builds into a BKB, still not an easy matchup by any means.
Yeah.
If it is going on Pure, I am also wondering about how susceptible it is in that early laning phase, because that has been the biggest weakness so far for Pure, is how punishable is this Nature's Prophet in that first 10 minutes.
It will depend on the core that he's playing against, because Clockwork needs a core that will like actually jump on top with him and kill the Nature's Prophet. Although, great Timber pick, excellent against Clockwork, high strength hero, excellent against Earthshaker, high strength hero. 0% win rate though in the main stage.
Yeah, but why are they showing here right now? That's like the question, right? Like, if they wanted a hero like Timber, wouldn't he be better at 18? Unless there's something that's going on here, you know, like maybe one of the heroes.
I think this is a statement from BB team. They are picking a hero that has 0% win rate on main stage and 0% win rate, 0 out of 8 games, road to TI playoffs and main stage.
The reason I'm confused is because they chose to ban the Puck, right? So they seem to think that the Earthshaker is not going to be mid. And now they're picking Timber, I presume, against the Earthshaker, which he wants to go mid against the Shaker. That's what I find a little bit confusing here.
I mean, one argument is Miro is level 30 Timber. It's easy to talk about, you know, the Amars of the world and forget that Miro is, like, he came onto the scene playing Timbersaw every single game. So maybe it's just a confidence thing. I also think it blocks Meepo a little bit. You don't feel as good playing Meepo into this, and I think Heroic could maybe bang it out here. We'll see. I mean, they have last pick, so they could look to get it there, but it's not going to make it through the second phase ban, or the third phase bans.
No, I don't think so at all. That's something that everyone's very cautious of about letting them get their hands on. A Bane here as well for BB team. Kataomi's done wonders when it's been picked up. That's something that gave them success so far on this main stage as well, is when he's on that hero.
Yeah, Bane plus MP is absolute pleasure to have. You know, as a teammate, you're playing Bane. You want someone that can just come to you instantly when you catch a hero with your sleep or your Fiend's Grip. Even though it might seem like counterintuitive to pick Bane into Clockwork, because Clock is one of the worst matchups in the game for Bane. But I do feel like they put a lot of emphasis in enabling this MP. That might explain the Timber, you know. Maybe they are feeling that we need some offlaner to keep shuffling the wave and pressure. So you draw the attention, and then the Bane goes to you, sets out with the MP TPing in. Maybe that is the idea of their first 3 picks here.
Yeah, BB is definitely prepping to be really active because Timber also is a hero that loves being left alone in lane. So that means they can pick a support that can run to the mid lane, play around GPK, have Huron Nature's Prophet TP in, and Miro's just chilling, farming.
Yeah, Hero seems to agree that the Timber is going to be on the off lane, picking the TA right away. TA is like one of the better heroes against Timber in the lane. So let's see if like maybe BB team try to, you know, adjust, try to move the Timber away, or they have to try to figure out what type of support they pick to enable the lane. You know, TA is just going to be, I think, a very strong lane matchup into the Timber.
Yeah, I like this pick a lot, allowing them to have a super strong laner, and this is not gonna be an easy game for Bane by any means. He might need to shift priority. He might need to play as a position 5 in this one because you're playing against Earthshaker, Clockwork, One Fisher, Clockwork with the hook shot, the trap silence from Templar Assassin, just the global silence in general is gonna make things a lot more difficult for Bane than maybe he expected.
Yeah, that's a nasty silencer pick. Like, even Timber, Arcane Curse, he hates playing against this. The lane, too. Like, just the silencer versus the Timber and lane, I think is a winning lane almost no matter what carry you have.
If you're forcing Timber to deviate from his build, okay, that's why I felt like the Timber is there's gonna be something interesting with the Timber. So that moving the Timber mid, they are picking a Darkseer, changing the lane matchup. So they are trying to outfox Heroic in the lane. So Darkseer against TA, that's a pretty good matchup here. In the lane, they need probably strong position 4 to make sure that the silencer can't really bully the Darkseer too much.
They could still get a very good matchup for them if they want to get something like a Lifestealer maybe for themselves and use this Nature's Prophet as a support plus the Bane. I know that the Darkseer loves to have, you know, something that he can run in, some Tiny, some Tusk potentially, but overall they don't have the last pick. But after seeing this Templar Assassin, I think they use Nature's Prophet as a bit of a bait to see where the heroes are gonna go and try to counter-react it, because I'm seeing Enigma as well. This is one of the few matchups that Lifestealer doesn't like to play into, and also another hero that I think overall Whisper plays really, really well, and it would give them the momentum. I think having Templar Assassin building into Deso, having Earthshaker from the mid lane, 2 supports who can easily rotate, and they want to rotate to get that +1 for Silencer. Clockwork wants to be active. Could be that they just want to shut down the tempo that Heroic is building up.
I love the Hoodwink ban because that could be either
be a
the
carry,
or the
yeah.
4. You have to ban it for both. Because, you know, I agree with what you're saying. Maybe not Lifestealer, like there are also other options. You know, Faceless Void is an option there as well. Like, I mean, any hero that builds a Manta style you want against Silencer, and something to win the core-to-core matchup against TA. I guess TA is kind of solved by the Darkseer.
Do you split your band then, or are we still looking at a potential strong position forward to come out? Because you've given a lot of good carry potential for the side of BBT. Is it that easy to take it out? Is that easy to all in that's the last pick that is required?
It could just still be a 4 for save. That's also possible. We're just thinking of like interesting flexes because they don't have the last pick.
I mean, he usually likes to play like range heroes on save. You know, we've seen him on usually Grimstroke, Rubik, Tao Hill, Muerta.
I mean, Batrider is banned. Okay, well, that would have been great. I'm just trying to think, what are the ranged heroes that play well with Darkseer? Willow?
Yeah, Willow is okay.
It's like Bat and Willow are the 2 good ones that you can actually Ion Shell.
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like they want more than one initiator. Right now, there's only Bane, right? If your core is going to be MP, Timber, and Darkseer, you kind of want more stuns and catch for your lineup.
And Save Lion is a classic. He lanes well with the Darkseer.
Yeah, Lion's actually really nice for their overall composition here. You have the vacuum into stun combination. So it's going to be the Dark Widow. So you have instead of the stun, you have the vacuum into multiple brambles, which can be really nice in the laning phase.
Yeah, peels through the TA refraction eventually as well between the brambles and the Willow ult.
Not a very conventional hero right now.
No.
Yeah.
It was prior to the international happening. Pro level pubs, people were spamming this.
That was before the nerfs, I think. She did take some nerfs to the Shadow Realm.
The regen in the Shadow
Right.
Realm, yeah. Doesn't feel as broken as it did before.
So what is she offering in the lane? Because you guys said that needed to be something that was really going to help
She's
the
a
Dark
pretty strong laner at level 1. One of the best level 1 heroes.
I was wondering where this hero's been. the mid Leshrac, it deals so much damage. The Link Dagger, you just jump in, suicide, it's like, I'm gonna kill you or you're gonna kill me, or maybe both.
Oh, they definitely upgraded the draft from the previous game. This draft kind of plays itself out. You're never going to be lacking damage. You have enough stuns. You have a global presence. You have very good scaling. You have heroes that come online super fast. Leshrac going for the Blink Dagger. You have Templar Assassin with your Dragonlance Deso. So it does feel like they're going to be ready relatively early on to be able to punch back against what BB Team is bringing in this one.
What I love is that they have 3 extremely high burst cores with a silencer. Like, if they cover a jump with the silence, they will kill like 2 or 3 heroes, potentially. This is very strong. I think the pipe timing for Miro on Darkseer will be very important. Like the pipe in Crimson Aura timing.
Yeah, they have to make sure whenever the silencer global comes out and with the Earthshaker jumping, they need to survive that initial burst. If they can actually do that and make the fights drag out, then it'll be really good for the Timber and Darkseer. But overall, I feel like execution-wise, it's a lot easier for Heroic here. I feel like their team fights are just pretty straightforward. Laning phase is also pretty straightforward. They're very, very solid lanes. So I think we are actually going to see a game 3 here.
Winter, I feel like you changed your viewpoint. You went from not sure if Heroic were going to be able to bounce back in the series to loving exactly what they're bringing in game number 2.
Yeah, you gotta love if someone gives you something you like to see, you know?
What do you love so much about this one, Lacoste?
I like that they are shutting down the cores as well. I feel like with the picks that they do have, it gives them a lot of momentum as well. And BB Team, they are picking heroes with very low win rate. These heroes are low win rate or have no win rate whatsoever for a good reason. Nature's Prophet didn't win on the main stage. Neversaw didn't win a single game. And they're really trying to push the limits. This is also a bit of a test. If they are going to be managing to win this one, it's also a bit of a statement for the rest of the teams that are still left in the tournament.
Yeah, I like that you're bringing up those statistics. It hasn't been working for other teams on at least 2 of their cores on the side of BB Team, and so I feel like we need some answers exactly what their coach and how this draft is going to play out.
And I can make that happen, and that, yes, I am joined by Bulk of BB Team, where I do have some questions about your draft. Timbersaw gets picked up. I don't know if you know this, 0% win rate in this tournament. It has been picked 8 times so far. Why do you like it?
Тимберсон на этом турнире выбрали уже 8 раз, но у него винрейт 0%. Почему вы продолжаете его выбирать?
Мы захотели исправить эту ситуацию и поправить этот винрейт.
We want to fix that win rate.
No more 0% win rate after this game. Makes sense to me. Last game, I asked Caps if he was afraid of your last pick anti-mage. He said no. Are you afraid of the analog last pick Leshrac?
В интервью тренера после прошлого пика он сказал, что он не боится вашего антимага. Боитесь ли вы их Лешрака?
Нет.
No.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that. What was it again?
Нет. No.
No.
Oh, no, that's what it was. I see. Well then, let's see if it happens in this game number 2. Good luck, Bulk.
And luck may be needed here. It seemed like the panel liked the changes that Heroic made to their draft. I personally like to see that Whisper is going to be taking over the Earthshaker, and they got Analog a Leshrac pickup. That felt like a nasty last pick here, Avery.
There's a reason Timbersaw has been struggling this tournament. Now he's going to have to go up against another hero that can just absolutely burst and chunk him down. I'm looking to Analog to step up his game in this game too. I think he struggled the most in that game 1. It wasn't all on him. It was just a really tough game to find the angles for those Echo Slams against so many summons, so much scouting, a long-range poke lineup. You're against the anti-mage. Not the easiest Shaker game here. He gets the priority in that last pick. They put him on a super high damage dealer that can just get in the fight, play against a lot of heroes that he can just take down instantly. Looks like a great game for the Leshrac, and he has the silencer to cover him. I mean, what a silencer game. You're against Timbersaw, Darkseer, Dark Willow, Bane. This curse is gonna hurt in the team fights. The global silence can bail out the grip. Looking at those 2 heroes for Heroic to have big games here in game 2 and force this into a game 3. And if you're BB Team, as the panel mentioned, you are trying to play some heroes that have not been too successful so far. Doesn't mean they can't work here, but they have been struggling.
Save in some trouble, over to use the Shadow Realm. Unless he can juke through the trees, he is gone. That's going to be first blood to Yuma. And that is quite the boon, because The off lanes on both sides are suffering. Schofield will end up going down. Both supports will die, but it's Heroic who walk away with the extra bounty in first blood.
And there's some money tree action going on.
Wait, what?
Nature's Prophet looking for the gold bags. Not a facet we see a lot, if at all. But if you start snowballing with it, it's definitely a little extra income. I did not have this on my TI bingo card.
No, I didn't either. I do remember that it was so bad they had to buff it up, but it seemed like the numbers still weren't quite right. I guess in this matchup, it does kind of look like a free lane for them. So if you don't need the extra lane sustain out of the heal, why not, right? It's a double range matchup against a double melee matchup. Like, surely you should win this scot-free. Oh, vacuum pull back in, trying to go for KJ Fairy Fire. Oh, he walks back into the Ion Shell and will be run down and saved. He's already healed up enough. Refraction from Yuma is quickly burned through, and he'll have to back away. No rebuttal here. Schofield, meanwhile, Fairy Fire of his own is going to be popped to stay alive.
This double melee offlane's really suffering against the double range, plus the presence from this Furion. Look towards Pure to have a big game for BB Team. He can set the pace, he can drive tempo around the map, he can TP into all these plays, give you the extra gold off the money tree sprouts. Those can go either way too, you know, anybody can pick up those bags, so you really want to snowball off this facet if you can. True. Just have some bigger presence in the earlier team fighting. Particularly if the other lanes are going to be a struggle. This Darkseer lane is not going the best for BB Team. And Yuma has had an incredible start on this TA. Despite some of the early skirmishing going both ways, he's absolutely free farming down there. And they picked up the early kill. So it's going to be another strong laning phase for Heroic. The Leshrack's going to free farm, the TA is pretty much going to free farm down there. And if they can get something out of this double melee offlane, it's another really good start to a game where they can pick up the pace. Be very interesting to see who rotates supports into mid lane first in this game as well, because you are really eyeing these 6 and 8 minute power runes, and this is an explosive matchup. Start taking some of these later points in Edict, just so much damage on isolated targets fighting for those runes, or if you get an early haste or arcane, Leshrack can be devastating with it.
And frankly, if Earshaker is already kind of struggling, and he can maybe do some Fisher shenanigans to pull the lane back, why not move the Clockwork, say, into this mid lane and try and help the Lesh win that matchup?
I think Schofield has the most freedom here to decide what he wants to do. Trying to deny the water rune.
Miro chased down. The teleport will be canceled. A little bit surprising there. They were a bit low. Schofield brought low by the Nightmare. Katomi continues to menace this opposing support. He just cannot seem to use his cogs effectively at all. Every single time he tries to go for the cog hit, he just gets Nightmared and hit a whole bunch.
Getting outplayed in this early game. Will at least deny the water room out from GPK. It's a little minor win on that mid lane. That was his goal here, but another slow start for Schofield. Once more have to make it up, and this is not a game where you're going to get a huge amount of stacks up with this Clockwork.
No,
be able to fall back on that. You have to find some action around the map. Action continuing in this lane.
KJ not respecting the Shadow Realm Ion Shell combination. Maybe Yuma can, if he gets the kill on the court, it will all be worth it. But it's taking a lot of time off of lane. He still hasn't got to put the treads pick up. That'll help give him some extra movement speed to get the kill, and he does not get caught in the brambles. Perfectly manages his way through. Whisper, alone in lane, does not die. He still has some stick charges and a Lotus to burn through.
Third kill on this lane for Heroic, and a lot of solo experience going into the TA. Honestly, I think KJ, he's more than happy with that exchange. His TA is going to be ginormous. Already almost level 5. Level 6 on the Leshrack mid as well. I mean, it's Whisper being sacrificed up here a little bit, but this lane was going to be the toughest lane no matter what. You pick these heroes for the mid game, not their laning prowess. You just have to survive through it here.
Considering how well Yuma is doing, I halfway expected the silencer KJ to go through the gate, maybe help out this top lane, but he's opted against it, instead playing for power runes.
They're just too weak up top. Too many resources got burned out there. That play is not available. You can look for the mid clash, however. Again, these power runes are super valuable for the Leshrack if you can secure them.
I love that, though. They already have the ward in place. They will run down KJ first, go back for the power rune, which spawns top. Works out well for them. Analog would have gotten it otherwise, but instead Katomi gets an amp damage, and he's going to pull the Leshrack underneath the tower. Now it's going to be the Clockwork who wakes up that Leshrack. Leshrack going back in with a dive ball key. He's doing massive damage onto Katomi. One kill and trying to get out. No stuns left. Save has already blown everything there, so Analog will be able to get away. Support for support trade-off.
Money bags collected for Pure. He's happy about that. Analog, did he overstep into the river?
He certainly did. Not having diabolic eating, he's in trouble. Sounds goes out though, and now GPK is the one who has overextended himself. Analog, he'll tick out. Analog didn't have to run forward. KJ will collect that kill. GPK offering a respectful tip to KJ for the rotation.
It's just such a good silencer game. They got it really late in this draft. He has great core matchups, great heroes to punish with the curse, and a great target for that global silence later. I expect a big game from King Jungles here. Pure feeling the heat of a Yuma rotation. Rocket Flare gives a little assist. But
yeah, a bit too late. If it had caught him as Pure ducked away into the trees, maybe they could have killed it, but now Whisper has been baited to go for that Pure kill. Templar Assassin can't jump into this, not with GPK. Timbersaw is showing. Analog still gonna show up though. He is so strong right now. He's going straight to Pure. That's a guaranteed kill. What else can you get out of this one? GPK tries to pick up a Yuma real quick. The refraction, blocking the damage, and missed the Timber Chain. Meanwhile, Analog, oh, he cuts him down with that long-range chakra. The Facet comes through in the clutch for GPK, and he still has plenty of mana to work with. No more diabolic eating, so GPK has free reign of things. A triple kill for him.
That's the kind of fight you wish you had that silencer involved in a little bit more. 3 points in curse. He could do some serious damage to GPK in these skirmishes.
He thought he was going to get involved there. Instead, Nightmare pulled into the chakram. Analog, he goes for the Pure kill again, but around these ancient stacks and 2 heroes behind him, Analog can't go for another kill on this Nature's Prophet. Pure trying to get nice and aggressive. They know the ward's up there on the high ground, thanks to the Nightmare from earlier.
And Whisper comes to defend these stacks. Does not want to lose anything. Does not want to split the experience. He needs this Echo Slam to recover. He will get it here, uncontested.
Yeah, Schofield's gonna block out Katomi. No way that he ever gets close enough. In fact, if he tries, he'll just add more experience to Whisper's coffers. Slowed down by lightning a bit.
The hasted Timber.
Oh, yeah, that's a little scary. Oh, that's it for the Shadow Realm. Not good enough. GPK.
He wants
Are you gonna try for it? Timber chain up, and he runs him down.
GPK boss gets that steal in game 1, and he is off to a 7-1 start here at the 8.5-minute mark. Just pure destruction coming out from this mid laner right now, who is on a warpath in this tournament, man.
Yeah, is there any doubt? He has to be the team, the player that is carrying his team the most in this tournament.
He is MVP in my mind right now. BB team are not here without his plays on the main stage. He'll have to go back to heal, but man, what a start for him. Playing into some tough heroes too. These are not easy heroes for the Timber to skirmish early. He really just played the fights well. You end up inside the cogs, you end up against the silencer spells, you end up against chain stun from the Shaker or the burst damage from the Lesh. Not the easiest Timbersaw game in my mind, and he's had an incredible start here. It's going to go a long way.
He is the only reason that Heroic hasn't really broken away in this early laning phase. I mean, they're still up by a K, but it could have been so much worse, right? He gets that kill on Yuma, and that top lane rotation, that could have been just Pure dying again. He's kept Analog down a bit, but he will be the center of attention for Heroic. Hook shot does land, and really no way out of this one. Nope. The cogs lock him in a cage, and the silence prevents any spells. Analog, he knows that he's gonna have to stay one step ahead of this Timbersaw if they want to push this to a game 3.
And these smoke plays are so strong. They're not gonna have a lack of damage like we saw in that game 1 where that
block off
around.
Not needed. Whisper already has his blink dagger. He gets in front of Katomi, and they chain the stuns for another kill into Analog. Now second in net worth, and Yuma is topping out the charts.
This is a perfect pace for Heroic. They love this style of gameplay, and this draft is built for it.
You just showed so many heroes though. Yuma, he's left alone in this bottom lane and run down by a simple 1-2 punch of a Miro wall and save with the Bedlam. That is gonna cost Heroic a decent amount.
Gotta respect this Helm creep with the Darkseer Ion Shell and the potential back stomp that could come out. It's been a while since we've seen this combination, but it'll be live in this game. And all that space that the Timbersaw created allowed Miro to catch back up. He was doing farming. He was doing big stacks in the jungle. So this Darkseer's absolutely back in this game. They're trying to pick up the pace themselves.
Well played pickup, but the creep is on top of him with the Ion Shell. I know Santos go out. If they can trade this out to get the kill on Pure, it'd be massive. Whisper doesn't have enough damage by it. Oh, what a Cox hit! A Sprout over to the other side, and Chain Totem to stop him though. And Pure, he's dead. As aggressive he's tried to be. Multiple of these rotations have resulted in his death, and Whisper is taunting him all the way to the grave.
you got to have some respect for BB team. They went in this game and they're trying to play heroic style of Dota. They are just taking the clash, just getting aggressive. But this is a terrifying team to play this fast against because they'll take it to you every single time. I mean, these are some of the best skirmishers in the world. Schofield in his element right now.
Smoke breaking, Schofield. He'll just wait it out. GPK runs right into that brick wall.
I'll try and smoke the supports around. Tower goes down. Scan still hits on that hill. They're looking for a bigger core target in the jungle. They want Yuma right now with this grip.
Is this two-man squad good enough, though?
They land the grip. They're going to try it all in.
They got him. And long-range hook shot. The grip is stopped, but the burst damage is still there. Now Schofield, big whirling death hit underneath the tier 2 tower. Cogs on cooldown, but BB team, they'll respect what Heroic have to offer. Backing away from the cliff and the multi-shot of the tower, not worth the risk for a simple support.
First part of that smoke did not succeed up the high ground, but they get the nice flank. Yuma just not expecting 2 supports to be taking him down, but Wrath of Nature gives you that extra damage on all these plays. There, however, is the Blink Dagger for the Leshrac, and this is when this hero becomes the scariest hero on the map. You pop the Edict, you blink on anybody, they're just gone. It's way too much damage for an isolated target. Expect a quick smoke out from Heroic. Still have that global silence to back him up too, so if you go in super aggressive as Analog, you can take that kind of fight. You can rely on KJ to bail you out of a really tough situation or some grip deep in the formation.
Did he have that global for the Fiend's grip on Yuma earlier? I have to imagine if he did have it, right? He would have popped it, right?
It's true. Not
maybe Yuma expected he was going to get some sort of bailout here, but let's hope that global silence is put to better use here.
This is the same smoke path. They scanned it, and they have this ward still on the high ground. There's Sentry in range, never killed it.
Yeah, this is insane that this is still up. BB team unaware and caught out by it once again. Global silence just in case.
I think that was a little wasted global there, but...
Yeah, that did not feel necessary at all. They had that kill guaranteed. One courier. And a second couriers? Pure trying to juke it through the trees. Analog and Schofield, they try their best, but distracted by the courier, they still got it. But it is Whisper dying on the other side of the map. As the aggression from BB team. They see all these heroes on the other side of the map. They're going to go for the Wisdom Shrine, expecting that Schofield will do the same on the Clockwork. But they're going to fight. Analog, he's going to jump right into the bait. Opts not to go for the Wisdom Shrine, gets the quick kill on the support. Can he get to the Wisdom Shrine in time? He opts for the stun. He does not want to go into melee range of this GPK Timbersaw that has been menacing the map the entire time. He takes the experience and makes a run for it.
Hook shot in 7 seconds here.
Save, he knows, I think he's given up his life to block the pass. Miro, he's run down by the dog. He thinks that TP is not going to work for him. And it's GPK, the only man perhaps who can make it out. Schofield spots him. Oh, that hook shot just barely off the mark.
That is still a fight Heroic will gladly take in exchange for that shrine. They got so much of that. Some extra in for the silencer. It's up to 7 brain drain. And that Darkseer, he was the most farmed hero going into that fight. Miro quietly just having himself a game here, farming up at a very fast pace. Big kill to give away. It's your best team fighter on the side of BB. He just got locked in the cogs from Schofield, who chose to go to that fight over stealing the shrine. Absolutely the correct call. Arcane Rune in the river. Huge rune for both mids. Analog snags it. GPK not getting all the power runes he's used to. This is almost a downside for him having the best start out of everybody. Yeah, this Timbersaw went 7-1, but you can't push your advantage into this lineup. There's too many spells that counteract you. You need defensive items. You need either super fast Lotus or super fast BKB, and I think it has to be the BKB he's eyeing up because there's just way too many disables for you to play into.
He also couldn't really use that momentum, not just because of the counters, but because his own supports don't start the fights. They can't really guarantee that heroes will stay inside the Timbersaw AoE, whether it's because of the global silence. Frankly, Heroic's heroes are just better for that, right? The Clockwork and the Earthshaker, they're going to be much more active at starting fights for their mid than BB team could be.
Control is just more reliable here. It's also longer range. Fissure plus hookshot, you could start the fight from anywhere. This Dark Willow Bane has to get in pretty close, and that's super risky against this lineup. There's a lot of interrupt. That grip is 0% guaranteed against the global especially, but even if the global gets thrown out, there's still a lot that can stop you.
Adesso online for Yuma, puts it to use, does not get the last hit on the mid tower. So missing a bit of bounty there. Analog, meanwhile, Working his way through the jungle with this invis rune, spotted out by a sentry. Did BB team with the night vision of Kataomi. They certainly know this is coming, and he's going to be so far forward. He's going to be caught out the global silence. It hit, but the hook shot did not. Baited in by BB team. Analog will overstep himself, and his team might be punished for it. Schofield, the 4-staff, gets him away from Pure. They will not lose anybody else for that blunder.
All 5 heroes were there to punish him. Even the Furion coming in, landing a little helping hand, and the damage is just overwhelming. Even though you get global to bail you out, you're stuck in the brambles, you're stuck in the chalk room. Just can't get out of there. You have BKB, I mean, that looks way different, right? But that is a ways away right now.
Slowing this down is crucial. Any pickoff because the Deso could lead to Roshan, right? But the faster you get this early Roshan and Templar Assassin, the happier you'll be, especially if you can do it during this night cycle where it is on the Radiant side. You can continue that cycle throughout the rest of the game. You'll always have that outpost advantage.
You just want to find any sort of pickoff right now. Keep hunting, keep abusing the fact that Lesh is super strong around the map and you have good initiation. Any sort of big skirmisher fight will lead you into that objective. They'll find a little Kataomi. Nice little pickoff there. I don't think this is enough to instantly force the Roshan, especially where you are on the map, but you could chain this into something else as well. And you look at the vision right now, you would love to get some deep vision on Dire side of the map if you are heroic. The more information you can get of where BB team are sending their heroes, the faster you can set these plays up.
Pipe complete for the Darkseer. BB teams.
Yeah. Pure almost just TP'd into Analog up top, but they actually had a Dire ward on that camp, so they saw him.
Oh, so he was teleporting to the Ancient camp,
and was then about to go in there and farm. It would have been instant death. Nice defensive ops, saves Pure's life.
It does. Now that's the sort of pickoff that could have led to a Roshan scenario, but as it stands, Heroic, with the team fight item complete of the pipe, you can't just force this. The game is beginning to slow down.
Very strong pipe game. The TA is your one solution to that pipe, but the TA is also not the hero that wants to go in and just be in the middle of all the ion shells, the brambles, the Dark Willow, Chakram damage. Like, it's a little overwhelming for Yuma right now.
Until you have BKB, that refraction isn't going to last long.
Just going to say, there's a lot of heroes who are going to want an early BKB in this game just so you can take the fights with confidence and ignore a lot of the damage coming out from both lineups, because both lineups are going to struggle against early BKBs here. You're negating a lot of control and a lot of spell damage. Huge amount of survivability to come out. Both teams playing a little scared right now. Clumped on the map. Again, there's just a lack of deep vision on either side of the map. You see how many sentries were spammed through these jungles. Yeah, it's ridiculous right now.
It is.
It's just both teams are kind of playing blind, looking for the next objective, which will be this Tormentor up top. BB camping it. They're a little early to the party, but
I mean, better to be early than late. That's what it feels like Heroic's going to be. Are they not, do you feel like they're at a disadvantage for contesting BB team? I don't think so either. I'm surprised they're playing so passive right now, but as we say that, both teams are going to go for their own smokes. Not going to be met, not going to be surprised on a Tormentor. Instead, they will clash inside the Dire jungle where BB team do have the ward advantage with the initiation. It's going to be jumped onto the Darkseer with the golden sounds over the top. 2 are wiped off the face of the earth, and now Heroic want more. Can they get that? Whisper, he's going to chase after him here. The silence wearing out. GPK, he gets the Timber Chain out of there, and Heroic call it quits. Good enough for them, I think, to do the Tormentor.
Gotta take it away right now. This area is entirely Dire's vision control. So you win fights here, it's super nice. Get a chance to D-Ward, get a chance to take that objective, save. Wants to get something going.
Good 4-staff. I mean, this early 4-staff picker has done wonders for GPK, though. He was pulled in by this, and there's too many stuns.
Overreaching, trying to find a little opening and stall this objective up, you end up paying even more of a price. The damage is overwhelming from this lineup right now. There's just no way to take an early, easy fight if Heroic are the ones jumping you. And that was a very fast hook shot Cogs, very fast blinking from Yuma. They have so much confidence to go in with their cores before all these BKBs are out because they have the global silence to back them up, whereas BB team do not.
And this jetpack could actually do a lot of work for Schofield. Helps him get out of Sprout, will help him find some of these supports, and maybe even the Nature's Prophet as he's been ratting around the map. BBT going to play to try and take this Wisdom Shrine. This is a crazy play. Schofield, he'll be Fiend's Grip right off the start.
Still gets it.
He still gets the Shrine. He will die. That's going to be triple ultimates used to kill this Clockwork. I think Heroic's perfectly fine with that.
If they can dodge fights when Global's on cooldown, that's the MO. And that's why BBT were getting aggressive. They want to fight when the Global's on cooldown. Massive opening for them, but we're just seeing, just dodge them on this cooldown, and then you can regroup when you have it up. You should have BKBs by then too. Though I say that, and Yuma opting for Daedalus instead, just wants more damage. Feels like the Global will cover him enough, especially with his other cores going in besides him.
There is a trade-off. I can see both sides of this, but do you believe this is the right item choice for him?
Honestly, yeah, the way these fights are going, I think if you get the BKB on the Lesh, he can go in, the Shaker can go in, you have the clock to create space. The grip should automatically be canceled every fight. You're not too worried about that. I think just ramping the damage faster here is going to be amazing, especially if you get an Aegis on this T8. That's when it will pay off, right? If you get 2 lives on Yuma and he went this Daedalus over the BKB, he is going to be an absolute beast in the fight. It's a very scary item for BU to play against because they just don't have the physical mitigation right now. You don't have like a Shiva's on Timber. You don't have an AC on this Furion. You can dice these heroes up.
GPK backs out right as Heroic.
Oh,
no, the Echo Slam starts things off and he's gone.
Too easy.
If they have your Shaker and the Leshrac on one target, it doesn't matter who it is. Schofield finds the extra. He's gonna jetpack, keep the vision on save, and eventually these Blink Daggers should catch up to him. There's the Fisher. And a Shadow Realm trying to dodge. They're actually maybe thinking about fighting this one. Miro's going to try and TP in. This is a little crazy, though. They still have the Global Silence.
Yeah, what is he doing?
And now Miro's in the middle of no man's land with nobody to help him. He tries to go for his own wall. Dead again. BB team, what is going on? They're bleeding out hero after hero in fights that should just be simple pickoffs.
That is a massive blunder. You're going to feed some heroes away while Roche is on this side of the map. That is an instant draw for Heroic. They will claim this objective, and that is why this Daedalus build is going to pay off. Yuma, he knows they're stronger right now. He knows they can win the fights into the Roshan, pick the Aegis up, scale the damage. Way too fast for BBT's lineup right now. They are now in a position where they have to find a way to stabilize this map, slow this game down, get the split push going, get some pickoffs going. That's 8 Deso charges on a minted Daedalus Templar Assassin at the 24-minute mark. That is not a hero you want to run into right now. It's just baiting the rune. This Lesh pick has been nasty this game. 9-2 for Analog. He's absolutely struck back, and there's just no clear answers to it in the short term. Now, you could maybe outscale it with Furion in the ultra late, but with Global to protect him against the limited control you have, I don't see anybody taking down Analog early in these fights now that he has BKB. And if he gets more items here, he just becomes an absolute god. I mean, you're looking at that Sanjin Yasha, you're looking at Shiva's guard, you're going to prevent a lot of the physical coming out from Pure. This Disco Pony dancing it up here.
He's getting strong, and BB team are forced to concede parts of the map. Something you never want to hear if you've got a Nature's Prophet carry on your team.
You have your aura timing right now. That was Greaves done on Miro. He has Greaves plus the pipe.
I just don't think Pure, he's willing to fight against an Aegis, especially without his BKB.
Oh, no way
Still needs
without
another 750 for that.
But even then, you're still not winning this man fight.
Yeah.
So you still have to find a solution to Heroic's team fight. Or just continue to rat the game out. And if you're Heroic, you would now have options because of that team fight dominance. You can leave Yuma alone with this Aegis. He's not going to be a target they go for. You can let him push. You can look for the smoke gank across the map. You can try and hunt the Furion. You can also just force the high ground and make BB come back. Doesn't mean you have to commit to that high ground, but you can get a lot of information off this and then go for that same smoke play. You have so much catch between the clock and the Shaker. These kind of moves are easy. Yeah, you still have this tier 1 mid.
Every time you cross the river, you run the risk. There's just so many Blink Daggers, so much initiation, so many stuns. Heroic is bound to catch some of these heroes that cross over. into their side of the map, catching a courier on the way too. BB team, they're doing what they can to wrap the map and try and prevent the loss of some of these objectives. Their tier 2 towers, though, will start falling with 2.5 minutes left on the Aegis. Is there any world that Heroic would ever hit the high ground to see how BB team respond, or are we just gonna systematically work our way tier 2 to tier 2?
Rather get the tier 2s off the map right now, but you can absolutely hit that high ground and try and force some heroes back. The thing is, Pure is always gonna be farming. So you have to weigh this economic advantage you're gaining versus what he's going to take off the map. If you can catch him, I mean, that's the dream. Catching any core out on the map right now. Schofield, does he have a read?
It just slips right past Miro.
That's insane. Still, Yuma taking matters into his own hands. Kills.
The Terrorize goes out. Timbersaw will try and take advantage of this. The first life of Yuma, they're burning through this refraction. BKB goes out from Analog, and a quick ankle slam for Whisper. Knock it down 2. Miro, he gets a force tap to save his life. Analog's fighting up against the physical damage. Pure pops going BKB. Down. He makes the commitment to Leshrac, and he gets it. Meanwhile, Yuma, on his second life, almost dies here. Goes back against Pure. Knows that BKB is going to wear out. Knows that the stuns are coming in with the cogs pushing him around. They do have this nightmare in the back line, so Yuma just can't get down to this cliff. Schofield and Whisper, the 2-man tag team of stuns. They can't get the kill on Miro right away, but they'll get it on Pure, and Yuma cleans up both.
The control tag team from Heroic, getting the job done where the damage falls. This shaker was massive. Double Echo Slam coming out from Whisper off the minted refresher. Absolutely feeling himself right here. Just decimates that fight that was once looking good for BB. Gets turned around with overwhelming damage from this offlaner. That's a buyback on the Bane for no result. And there's a little high ground poke. That was a scary fight for Heroic, though. They got caught on that ramp choke point into some wall illusions off the TA. The Darkseer Ion Shell was doing a lot of work there. Pure had a pretty good early start to that fight, bringing the Leshrac down with some decent damage out of this Furion. That got a little dicey.
They were able to kite around this Templar Assassin a lot, but this was your one shot. This was where Yuma was maybe a bit out of position and doesn't have that BKB. You won't have another opportunity like this. The BKB is gonna be done by the next time you go for a team fight like this.
And a lot of that echo damage did go into the Darkseer who had that pipe, so Miro was able to tank it. At this point, if you can get out, it's an okay-ish outcome, but man, the control from Heroic is just overwhelming, and they will always catch you. Power of the clockwork here. Schofield's just in the middle of you, causing chaos. Not a target you want to focus. Sets up the return from Yuma. Collects some more Deso charges here, up to 16 off that fight.
Oh yeah, he's huge. Analog. Oh, he runs into him and Yules. Save. He's faster than Analog. The BKB will be forced. You got to get out of here. Save. He does manage to get a helpful force staff to get away here. GPK's gonna go for it. Now that Analog's BKB is on cooldown, but the global sounds over the top of that BKB. GPK, he is left with no offense, no bite.
Whisper has an Echo Slam in here.
I can't believe it. They're right next to each other. Jesus, what is happening? A Fisher goes out, and Whisper is getting some stuns and Echo Slam on the two of them. GPK is in trouble. He got baited into a fight he was not prepared for. Not with Yuma. 1,000 damage crits raining in on BB team. Another stun. That'll stop the Bane. There goes the Dark Willow. And BB team on the ropes now. They managed to hold on with their barracks left alive because of the glyph before. Now there's nothing left to protect their base.
This is a lane for sure. Yuma's gonna clean house here. Another great Echo Slam from Whisper. Probably not the way he wanted to get it, but he'll take it. An immense amount of damage going into the Timber. Yuma cleans it up. No BKB on GPK because he used it earlier, and the Global Silence canceled the grip that was on the clockwork on the back of that fight. So you don't have grip to throw into those cores later on. I mean, this silencer is just ruining the Bane's day.
Oh, Fury's walking into a ward.
Oh, they see him.
He's got a BKB, but they've got the stuns. They've got the instant hits.
Yeah, that is some overwhelming damage.
Double wards in this jungle area. Heroic knew exactly what Pure's playbook was gonna be when he's behind like this on the Furion. He's gonna play to your side of the map, and Heroic were more than prepared for enough for that.
Just look to the camps on the sides, right? There's only a few places he's gonna go, and you know he wants to go to some of those ancient camps. They've been setting up for multiple times in this game, especially with the vision from the clock and the TA traps. Put wards on top of that, and you have a lot to play with. This game is firmly in Heroic's grasp right now.
All that's left is to get another Roshan, and then you can start to think about ending things. BB team, I mean, if you're on their side of the equation, what are you looking at? What is the opening that could possibly bring them back into this game?
Baiting out early usage of BKBs or global silence will create an opening in that team fight. That is very difficult to do without getting punished, though, because of the range on the catch, right? The other opening is massive vacuum. Yeah, it sounds a little difficult to get here, but in theory, if you can vacuum 3 or 4 heroes, you have some spells to combo with it. You have the Terrorize off the Dark Will, you have Brambles, you have potential Centaur Stomp off a Dom Creep, you have Chakrams that can go through and dice everybody up. A massive vacuum into a wall, create a bunch of illusions, make that fight chaotic for Heroic, can be another pathway to victory here, but I think it has to be one of those 2 options.
I mean, that timing is tight. Vacuum into Terrorize?
Yeah, it's not easy against the BKBs that are now available for Heroic.
Heroic will lay claim to that Roshan and that Aegis. That'll allow them to go high ground once again, take the outpost as well. Every little thing you could ask for is going the way of Heroic for this next high ground push at 33 minutes.
Man.
All that's left is another pickoff to make it that much easier for them.
I've been watching Pure TP, and his TP decision making is not easy. You look at how much range vision is on some of these camps. It's like pick your poison. You have to pick the one camp that is not spotted, and then try and get out. That is not the one you want to pick.
That's not the one. That's not the one. Whisper. Oh, this could be the death blow. Back to back. Side of the map pickoffs on Pure.
Read him like a book. There's just nowhere to go. He's just playing Minesweeper out here. Too much vision control on Radiant side of the map, and you don't want to keep farming your own because your team also has to get something right now. Nowhere safe to go for this Furion. Nowhere safe for GBK either. He's going to be forced to pop BKB. No teleport available. Is already canceled.
GBK knows his life is forfeit. Does a little dance. Whisper, he's going to be chased. You do manage to catch him before the Blink Dagger comes back up. He turns around the Echo Slam, does what damage he can. His team is making their way here. KJ's now here. He slows him down. Thanks to the 4-step, Whisper can turn back around. The BKB will last long enough, but save. Big hit there, and a Fisher to finish him off. They couldn't get the Earthshaker. They'll catch both Save and Katomi. Worse comes to worse. They're losing their tier 3. They're losing their second lane of barracks, while Pure is still dead for another 30 seconds.
And there's a refresher on the silencer. Why not? If one global silence caused you problems, how about 2? This game has completely spiraled out of control for BB team. They had some brief windows in that early game, but since Analog has been playing decisive, it is all been Heroic. No hope in these team fights. No chance in the skirmishes. No ability to contest Roshan. And this game is just going to end before the 35-minute mark. You went into the Coliseum with Heroic. Next time, you better come prepared, because this is not the team you want to come with less team fight against.
Heroic say you want to play that early game brawl. We'll match you every step of the way and beat you with experience. They have pummeled BB Team to a pulp on this one. And BB Team are not equipped to be able to stop this one. It feeds for a 3-man Pogs. Why not? Schofield, playing things in style. We are going to game 3.
This has been a really fun series to watch, and game 3 is going to have it all on the line. When the pressure is at its greatest, who will step up to lead their team to a historic finish between these 2 squads? You have to remember how much is at stake here. None of these players have made it to a top 4, and you are 1 game away from making history, potentially for your entire region. It all comes down to this.
They've been here before. Game 3 on the line for top 4. What is going to happen when we go to game 3? Well, let's first break down game 2.
It is a game 2 as a Heroic fans around the world are gonna remember they were one game away from elimination. Now they're one game away from making it to the top 4, the highest placement for these players. And what fashion they do this game too in. It felt like there was just nothing stopping them from all of their heroes doing exactly what they needed to do.
I agree. Completely incredible showing. They went from playing against a team that made them look like they were getting pub stomped to pub stomping BB team. Analog ran around on Leshrac owning noobs like he was Smurfy. But it's easy to forget that this is one of his like staple heroes. He's played this time and time again. You can see the comfort. And what's really impressive to me is that, like Winter said, it's been 2-0 all the way for Heroic. This is the first time in a long time that we've seen, did they win a game 2 when they haven't won game 1? So this bodes very well for them as a team.
What an execution of the strategy. After seeing their draft, we were all like, okay, this looks so much better than what they did have in game number 1. Whisper on the Earthshaker, he had Pure's number throughout the whole game. Every single time he shows up in the side lane, you have 2 supports who can actually hunt him down. That's why when we saw it, this Nature's Prophet opener and seeing Earthshaker and Blocker, we said he's not going to be having a good time. And there's also a reason why Nature's Prophet is not winning, why Timbersaw is not winning. He got that ultra kill, but guess what? Heroic, this is the team that's every single time they're going to be bringing in numbers. How many times so far at TI we've seen them use early buybacks, make sure that they have the numbers. They're bringing numbers into every single fight.
I mean, the Timber was kind of the only hero that was keeping BB team in the early game. You know, he had like a 7-0 start. He was like having a pretty good time. But then it just came to a point where when the team fights, the actual real 5v5 started to happen, you could see that it's so difficult for them to fight into the Shaker, the Global Silence. And when you look at BB team's lineup, the Darkseid and Timber, they don't really have a lot of synergy between their heroes, right? It's very hard for them to start the fight. They can only maybe rely on the Bane if he gets a good sleep, or a grip after the Silencer uses his ulti.
Yeah.
It's basically a lot of things need to be going in their favor for them to be able to start the fight, you know.
Yeah, when you're in these positions, the easiest execution is what you want. Comfort is definitely what you want to be feeling in this one. And looking at these replays, just seeing how quick Heroic are to react on everything that BB team is trying to do. It felt like immediate rotations all the time coming out for them. But Jenkins, leading into this, when the Lesh came out, you absolutely loved it. We see Analog pop up on it. Where did this hero go? Why is it finally now making its face at the stage?
I think it was a perfect draft for it. The pure damage that he does, not speaking of pure, speaking of Analog, goes through all of the barriers that would come out from the Darkseer. It bursts through the Timbersaw's reactive armor. It's very good at jumping and killing Nature's Prophet. There's not much he can really do when you get on top of him. And the Global Silence coming out, it is risky. I think that's why Leshrac has fallen off. It's that, like, if you don't get a good early game, he jumps in and he tries to kill you and he feeds, right? You just have less HP, you have less stats to work with than they do, and they just kill you before you kill them. So you need to snowball, and he did. It requires a lot of comfort, especially in this situation where you're lower bracket. You're about to get kicked out of International right now, and you're potentially breaking a record for South American Dota. Like, there's a lot of pressure there. So the fact that he's able to do this under that pressure is very impressive.
Yeah, especially when they have never, came back from losing the first game. This is like
Not
do or
once.
die for them. And so being able to actually turn this around takes a lot of mental strength.
Yeah, Jenkins, you mentioned how good of an early game Leshrac needed to have to make impact. Let's go have a look at that, right? Because the lane went so well for him. He actually ended up helping out everyone else on his team, or at least shutting down what BB team were trying to do.
Yeah, this early game was kind of like the battle of the mids. I think GPK's rotation here was very good because Analog was also making the rotation. Of course, Timber versus Lesh is not so easy, so Timber was level 6, Lesh level 7. That's max Edict with the pure damage. It is quite significant. So this was a very chaotic fight. Going back and forth, I think GPK ends up with a triple kill here. Analog gets some kills as well. But I totally agree with Avery when he said that you are playing Heroic's game. To run around in the early game and engage in this chaos, like, you are entering into a chaos pit with a team that they were born there.
Yeah, probably that's why we saw in the first game how slow they were taking it. They did not want to risk it too much. They were trying to mimic some of the rotations as well. Again, GPK on the Void Spirit in that game number 1. And coming into the third game, I think they're going to need to address this issue, not fall into a trap to try to play the game that Heroic has been playing. And also for this second game, they really didn't have a way to initiate a fight, especially if you're playing it from behind. Who's going to start a fight? Timbersaw jumping in and be like, yo guys, I'm here, try to, you know, maybe use some spells on me, but they do have the overwhelming damage that we talked about, having this Slash Rack with the pure damage, having Temporal Assassin. Yuma had an insanely good amount of farm, and like we talk about the team fights, but you now have Global Silence to counter any kind of team fight, even if it happens, but there is none on the side of BB team, so they will definitely need to fix the draft coming into the third game.
Agreed.
Yeah, struggling to initiate, but it also felt like they were struggling to disengage. Heroic thriving in that chaos, and they kind of just got to chase whenever there was an attempt from BBT. They get to keep getting more out of a team fight, out of a pickup.
Yeah, there were a lot of Benny Hill type situations in this game, which I think favors Heroic a lot. And you could tell that when they smelled blood in the water, they continued to strike and strike and strike. They did not only take this kill on GPK in the mid lane, they figured that the rest of BB, well, they had to be positioned somewhere here on the map. And also, they know that if GPK is going down as the most important hero, that the rest of BB is probably going to retreat. So they get kill after kill after kill. A BB might stand for bleed bleed because they're bleeding out in this situation. That was kind of the entire game. Like, it was just BB team bleeding kills. It looked like a pub. I think the elephant in the room is that their draft was almost disrespectful with the picks. You know, you heard Bulk at the start. He's like, nah, we're gonna up the win rate.
Yeah, I think the data leans very heavily one way for a reason. We also look towards people who are specialists in certain heroes. Are they picking it up? Are they also just as confident? It doesn't matter where in the draft you pick it up. It's still going to have that question mark. Is it good? And for both the Nature's Prophet and the Timbersaw that has bad win rates on main stage here, you open your draft with both of them, and there's no actual real flex potential despite seeing everything else that comes out from Heroic.
Yeah, and also the bans, right? Because they banned the puck, which was really confusing, right? So they thought that the Shaker was definitely not going to go mid or some reason. But then why would they actually show the Timber? Because I would only show the Timber if I'm absolutely certain I'm getting that specific matchup. So everything itself needs to be looked at, and maybe a little bit of overconfidence after winning the first game, so they felt like they could, you know, do whatever they want in the second game, and they got humbled.
Yeah, they really did. Nature's Prophet on stage doesn't have a good win rate. I know a lot of other people, though, putting high priority on it because it's a hero that once you shut it down, it's still able to find farm anywhere in the map. And I think something Heroic did so fantastic was having defensive wards, being aware that the Nature's Prophet will want to still be looking for that farm somewhere.
They knew exactly where he's going to be farming. Like, these are, I would say, anti-Nature's Prophet wards.
Yeah.
There were a couple of them in the bottom part of the map as well, as you can see on the minimap, that they are ready. Because this is where Nature's Prophet, he wants to farm. Like, he knows that he can just show up in the lane playing against Clockwork, playing against Earthshaker. They can easily initiate it on him, so he needs to find the farm somewhere, and they caught him every single time.
My thought process with this, and maybe this is a region, was that like Heroic is so dominant in their region that they play a lot of these qualifiers where they have a huge lead. But there's a lot of these pub players, right? Like, people are really high skilled from pubs that they're still playing against, and they know where to farm. So Heroic is very good at stopping a team from farming when they're behind, because from their qualifiers, they're always ahead to this degree. Because this was not just like a win by Heroic, this was a stomp. And Heroic, because of their regional dominance, is actually very good at stomping teams if they're ahead. Like, BB's not going to come back.
There's a lot of competition going on here at TI. It's not just our players vying for the Aegis. It's also, of course, all the creative people at home that are doing some submissions for our short film contest. So we're going to take a look at one of our finalists.
Sunstrike.
I love the creativity that comes out there. I mean, I had the arena when it showed up that there could have been Pudge being removed from the game.
It's never
there.
gonna happen.
Audible
This
gasp.
is the most iconic Dota 2 hero.
Yeah, I loved it. The dual use of the Lincolns and the Lotus Orb there as well. He was making sure there was no way he's getting removed from that game. But in our series, he's not showing face at all. The only time we're seeing him is in that band.
Yeah, he's kind of removed from the game.
True, in a different way.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we get to see him. Hopefully.
Yeah, I know Jenkins would love to. I'm sure Heroic, if it got let through, they would love to play it. We've seen it on 2 different positions for them as well, whether it's in that carry, if it's in that offlane as well. But we talked about the overconfidence of BB Team. That's something they haven't gotten overconfident in. They're still very strong and standing by, taking out these niche and unique heroes from Heroic.
Yeah, I don't think you let it through. I mean, especially game 3. I think BB is gonna straighten up. You know, this is what they tend to do. We've seen this time and time again in their tournaments. They're still an incredibly strong team, and I also don't think that Heroic. They're of course going to play with confidence. They're a momentum-based, emotional team, so the win is very good for them. But you gotta still keep respecting BB because they have. This has happened so many times before, and they just end up winning the series. Like you said at the start. All of their series have pretty much been 2-1s. So,
yeah. I think there's going to be a switch in the draft when it comes down because they gave him Earthshaker twice, and I don't think they're going to want to give them Earthshaker one more time. If they have first pick on BB team, they're definitely going to take it because they do play it from 2 different roles as well. This is the team that really excels at playing that hero. Even though the last 3 games that they did play with the Earthshaker, they did lose them. 2 against B-Vision, 1 against Nigma Galaxy as well. But this is the hero that allows you to have such a good game. In previous game in Whisper, he didn't have BKB. He went for Refresher. Yasha Kaya into Refresher, making sure that he has just unlimited amount of stuns, making sure that those stuns are coming in instantly so that they cannot react to it.
I mean, also their own drafts, right? I feel like that's on the enemy's draft, right? But for BB's draft, I think they need to maybe prioritize Pyomo, you know, give him the later picks. Don't show his hero out because I think in most of the games that went long, he has a really good carry-to-carry matchup. He has a like the strongest hero in the game. That's why they tend to play a little bit more slower, you know. They're like, okay, we don't have to rush. We can just take this late. We only go when we reach our timing, so it doesn't feel like they're going to be forced to make a lot of moves in a game.
Yeah, is that something that's also dependent on if they get first pick or second pick?
Yeah, of course. I think with the second pick, maybe they feel like they could do it more. And on the first pick side, I still think you can do it, but maybe just don't open the draft with his hero.
Well, I mean, a few weeks ago, you could just open the draft with Nature's Prophet, and it would still feel like the strongest hero in the game. That's just how overpowered it was. But, you know, nerfs come into play, and the meta changing comes into play. Like, the Dom meta has really changed everything because everyone is reacting to that, and because of that reaction, Nature's Prophet maybe isn't as strong.
Yeah, but it also depends on why, how they're diagnosing the problem, right? Do they think that Nature's Prophet is the problem or the other pieces that were picked after
I think the whole
Nature's
composition of that team was the problem, but also picking that hero so early, and also with the bans that they did have, removing that Spectre that one-time Heroic did use with the Helm of the Dominator to have that global presence, which again is a really bad matchup for Nature's Prophet. But then again, we had a lot of those heroes being countered in the previous game. You do have Bane, who doesn't like to play into Clockwork, doesn't like to play into Global Silence. Then you have Dark Willow playing into Leshrac. I feel like every single hero on side of BB team got countered by what Heroic did have.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to first pick a hero and then you have to use some of your bans later for that hero, then it probably means that that hero is not suitable for first picking. Because ideally, you first pick a hero and then you don't really care what the enemies are going to pick.
Yeah, that's definitely where the flex could come in too. You just run it as a support, like 4 or 5 position. And maybe that's part of why Nature's Prophet has not looked so great as a first pick in this week compared to like the couple weeks before it, because people were flexing to 4 and 5 position if it was a bad game for it, but the core Nature's Prophet is what is better at killing the Dom creep, you know. So people started playing it more as a carry. I can say as a support, yes, you can sprout the Dom, but it's a lot harder to kill it. So maybe that's the thought process, that like in this meta, it's just not as good as a support as it was previously.
And I also think that there are supports that are way more impactful. We're seeing them do so much more of its team fight securing lanes than what the Nature's Prophet could potentially add. You're relying a lot more on your second support to offer more in the way of team fight or setup.
Yeah, and also to go back to your point about helping the Dom and Nature's Prophet, you're playing against Heroic. This team is an honest team. They will only buy Dominator on AP's
Heroic is
Master.
an honest team?
They are. What do you?
When it comes to Helm of the
When it comes to
Dominator,
the Dom,
though,
yeah,
They want to win it by picking the heroes, team fighting. They want the constant brawl. They want the chaos. This is what people want to see as well.
I can't believe you're calling a Meepo team an honest.
They did not get a single Helm Dom that game though. That is quite impressive.
It's nice to see teams doing well, though, not picking it up, because one of the narratives coming here was how broken is it going to be? How many people are going to be picking it up? Will we see every role be able to play with it? And while some teams are still favoring it and having impact with them, it's great to see that this lineup is going to run over it, right? Heroic still know a way to play around it and without it, too.
Yeah, they have their own style. And, it's exciting to see that their style matches up so well against a team like BB, who has, for this whole year, been incredibly dominant. And as we saw, they've been incredibly dominant against Heroic this one. So it's like Heroic kind of stuck to their guns, and they improved it, they refined it to the point where now we have a very interesting and fun team to watch.
We do this series as well, going to a Game 3. This is actually the first time in TI and Road to TI that we're seeing Heroic go to a Game 3. Every other series they've played has been either that 2-0 or that 0-2, 2-0 win or 2-0 loss for them. So it's like, now how are they going to be managing the energies, the expectations, the pressure of an elimination Game 3?
Do they have the stamina for it? I mean, they've only played for a couple hours here or there. Now we're getting to that 3-hour limit, especially if this game goes long. Who knows?
I mean, it's Dota players, they can play 10 games a day. I'm sure they'll be fine in this series, And on the other hand, BB team, they are quite used to playing 3-game series so far. They've been playing a couple of those. They've come out on top of those. I'm sure they know what they need to do to just calm down, make sure that they can play a clean game in the last game of the series. And for Heroic, they are going to be in totally new territory. So how are they going to play?
This has also been their arch nemesis, I would say, when they start to feel that they need to fix things and they're unable to fix them, when they start losing on the brink of elimination, one game away from it, it could definitely affect a team like BB team, even though they definitely got better over the last half a year or a year because they started to win the tournaments as well. They kind of got into that territory of being able to breach the barrier and win, but still on a big stage of TI, you could definitely feel that they are also feeling the pressure.
Yeah, the main stage series, when it has gone this way, if they won Game 1, they ended up losing the series. If they lost Game 1, they ended up winning it. And I wonder if that trend continues or if there is going to be that reverse. How are they going to be able to bring it back from here? Is it as easy as being like, way too over?
Sometimes it's not just like about fixing, right? Sometimes you just have to remember in the games that you win, what did you actually do correctly in those times, right? And you just go back to those games and just do it again. There's nothing to fix sometimes.
So what was it that they did right in Game 1 that you want to see them go back to?
I feel like the draft, the hero matchup, they left Pure's hero till last. They got a good anti-mage game, and they were able to play calmly, and they knew that they were going to outscale them.
So it was more that rather than the execution aspect?
Yeah, I think it definitely affects. I mean, the execution is definitely something. They didn't really play a perfect game, but you can't expect your players to play perfect.
I mean, GPK tried in that game. They had a 0% win rate hero. Timber's just, it's bad after the nerfs. Like, this is an easy excuse that Bolt can say, my bad, guys. Pick Timber, G next. Let's go.
Yeah, expectations, you just have to throw them out the window right now, because no matter what you think you're going to get, one thing you can know for certain is it's a Game 3.
BB Team versus Heroic Game 3.
Is it going to be the same from BB Team? Confidence coming in at sticking to their guns about what happened in Game 2? Do they just straight up open for something that is not a conventional opener? The answer is yes. A Queen of Pain is going to be the first pick.
I think this Queen of Pain is just a statement. We want you to pick Earthshaker, and our Queen of Pain most likely is just going to be following wherever your Earthshaker is going, make his life miserable, use that Shadow Strike, try to push him out of the laning stage, maybe try to invade the enemy triangle in terms of not getting killed by Echo Slam, but try to block them and try to be annoying, stop those stacks from going off. Maybe position 5 can go into the triangle, try to battle it out with a position 4 on the enemy team. But yeah, Queen of Pain, like even on that position 4, Schofield did look good in the first game, but his damage was pretty much on par with the Earthshaker. But we'll see where it's gonna end up going.
I do believe that is the best role for Queen of Pain right now is to follow a hero and just dominate it in lane. There's a reason I think that she's fallen off since the Dom meta has, sprung into Dota. I honestly don't mind Queen of Pain against Templar Assassin. As long as you win the sentry battle in lane, a lot comes down to those supports, because otherwise she can meld dodge the Queen of Pain dagger. If you're winning the sentry battle, then TA gets destroyed in this matchup. If you're winning the sentry battle for TA, then Queen of Pain gets destroyed in this matchup. So a lot of pressure on the supports here between these picks.
Yeah, the support heroes are going to play a really, really pivotal role. Like in the first game, I felt like the BB side were able to kind of rotate around. Remember the first game where Disruptor was like running around 4 minutes, he ganked mid, he ganked bottom. It's all because of the hero lane matchup that allowed him to do that. So if I'm BB team, I'm going to try to replicate that. I try to have maybe the corp, keep them guessing where my corp is going, and then try to figure out a way how do I get a favorable lane matchup so that my supports can move around. I mean, this TA is definitely a very good answer to it. Like Andrew already said, you have a lane matchup where you're not worried that the corp can pressure you, and you're like daring them to put the corp in your lane.
Yeah, they are removing Silencer. He did one hell of a job, even though they didn't have too much of a team fight to break the team fight. Not even a waste to start a fight in the previous game, but they're going to give it more respect to this one. Disruptor is still available. You did mention it. I think this could be very good against Queen of Pain in general. It makes your life so much more difficult to play. One bad blink into Static Storm, then you can get pulled back again. Unless you have some kind of a save, it could be very difficult.
Are you surprised that they still banned the Earthshaker? Because I was with you with the way you rationalize why they first picked the corp, right? To kind of block the Earthshaker, but right now they're still banning the Earthshaker.
Probably thinking about it and maybe deciding it's better to remove it.
Don't give a whole second phase of picks to also protect the Earthshaker. Because I do agree. I think it's worth being worried about it in the first phase. You get some bans out, but BB team, they are one of the first teams that was using Queen of Pain off lane. So I feel like if this as a pick, it doesn't just have to counter Shaker. Like, yes, you can use it as a tool to not have the first pick Shaker come out, then ban the Shaker because it was too good in both games, and then later on you just have Queen of Pain and Mira plays it. It's one of his best heroes.
And do you think it tells you that Quad might be a support? That's why they're banning the Shaker, because they don't want her to go mid? I don't think for BB team. I feel like it's almost guaranteed going to be Mira playing it, unless somehow GPK in the end of this draft still has a good matchup for Quab. Then he'll take it. BB will make these plays in the draft.
Oh, now with these teams picking up their supports, we thought the Disruptor could have been good for Heroic against the Queen of Pain. We saw its impact, however. BB team gonna go back for that Hoodwink, picking up Saves Hero a lot earlier in this second phase, along with the Disruptor. So double support showing here.
Do you like the lane though, if Corp's going off lane with the Hoodwink with the double range?
I was thinking about that. I think it's fine. I don't think double range is that bad. Like, Quap as an offlaner honestly acts as a tank anyway. You get the strength talent, you blink in with Blade Mail, you tank.
It's a lot of damage, a lot of cheap damage on low cooldown inside of BB team, so they can keep fighting. If they want to be matching the aggression that Heroic did bring in the previous game, that's also doable, because we have seen them kind of lacking that in the previous one. When there was no Dippersaw, they couldn't really help out when Heroic was running at them. And this is also relatively cheap, long distance, low cooldown abilities that can stop Bane's ulti from going off. Like Disruptor with the Glimpse, Hoodwink with the Bushwhack as well could easily stop it. Queen of Pain later on with the Shard. There's a lot of things that the Pain doesn't like to play into.
I do think BB needs a mid that is more like an offlaner. Some DK, Void Spear, Hangler type hero.
Turns out it doesn't matter what you guys like. The audience is enjoying this Enigma pick.
Everybody loves Enigma pick, you know. It's an explosive hero, very strong team fight.
One of Whisper's best heroes too. Oh, where did this hero go the whole time?
Is that a position for Dawn?
I think Dawn in any position is good against Enigma. So maybe and Silencer is out of the pool, so maybe they pick it to block the Dawnbreaker coming out as a response to the Enigma.
And it's also a pretty good lane, yeah. Dawn plus Enigma, you're gonna have a very, very strong lane setup here. I think even if the enemy has a gyro, the lane is gonna be tough.
I like what Jenkins is saying a lot, because you're asking where this hero went. In the road to the international playoffs, Dawn had an abysmal win rate. It was something closer to 30%. It was below 40, and it was struggling so much. And that's because people were leaving that Silencer in the pool.
I think the counters to Dawn are such hard counters. Like the two big ones are Silencer and Nyx Assassin. Anything that can stop her from ulting in.
The next one is not even that easy when you get the X because it's so quick. Sometimes you just don't get it in position in time to stop it. But
Yeah, it's true. And you can get a BKB on Dawn. So it's not like impossible to play.
Silencer,
that's a hard one.
Yeah, that's very difficult. But we do see the gyro here, so like standard hero against Enigma, but Heroic definitely had some plans towards dealing with the gyro. They probably feel like with the Dawn, the lane is strong enough to handle the gyro and disruptor.
It's a super strong lane. Enigma plus Dawnbreaker, you have the slows for your Eidolons, you have multiple stuns plus the blood grenade. If someone's getting caught in that lane, either disruptor or gyrocopter, they could be definitely getting the kills. And with Enigma, the lane is going to be closer to your tower, so you can kind of always play aggressive.
Yeah, BB does have one problem, which is they lack a melee hero. They
Frontline.
They do not have a guy to just run in and be tanky. Queen of Pain is not terrible at it, but it's also, you're still an inch core. Like her stat gains are really good, you build a lot of stat items, but it's not like a Brewmaster, for example, or a Bristle, which have both been banned out.
Yeah, they need like some sort of aura frontline hero. Underlord kind of hero, someone to stand in front.
Tidehunter, something like
Centaur maybe, you know, someone that can actually be a frontline for the gyro, buy some auras. Gyro loves heroes that buy auras and can be the mid shield for you. So I think those are the heroes probably we would maybe see from BB team here.
I think they need a Blink Initiator. I think they need somebody to go in and just stun people, because starting a fight is going to be a bit hard, something that they did struggle with in the second game. Sure, you have Queen of Pain, you have Disruptor, Gyrocopter. He wants people to be kept inside of a certain area, to be able to go in and just, you know, keep them in a place so that Gyrocopter with the Flak Cannon, Queen of Pain, Centaurs are getting removed. This is, I would say, one of Miero's better heroes. I would say that potentially Mars is okay, but you have Enigma, you have Dawnbreaker, Sanking, there it comes. Sanking is the hero that could give them that just blink initiation on lower cooldown.
It kind of does both. It gives you a hero to run in and be tanky and start things off, and then also be a blink initiator and a team fighter later on in the game.
Yeah,
I like this a lot.
I also like the lane setup a lot more here.
Yes,
with the Hoodwink.
It's a hero that plays much better with the Hoodwink, and honestly, any like try pairing of the heroes on BB has a lot of damage, a lot of stun, a lot of catch. This is a very solid draft, very magic dependent.
Gotta start them young. You gotta get all the information you possibly can. Give them all the lore. Know that they've been to all the TIs.
Have you heard this one before? I didn't know Arteezy was in the audience.
That's gonna enjoy that one.
That's a classic. That's a classic right there.
I mean, do you guys like a Dragon Knight here? Dragon Knight against Import, and then you have Dawn with Dragon Knight.
Good call.
An amazing prediction from Winter. What are some of the key reasons that you wanted to see it being picked up?
Lane matchup against the Queen of Pain, and it's also really good with the Dawnbreaker ulti. It's a good setup. I think it allows them to play together as a unit.
I also think if he's going to be going for a Blink Dagger, potentially Mage Slayer, you have Mage Slayer plus Pipe coming out from the off lane, and
so good.
You might be having a lot of issues in terms of dealing with damage. This is something that Sanking really hates to play against. There's also going to be Queen of Pain. Sure, she does have some pure damage, but most of the damage that they do have is going to be magical early on.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much all magic damage. Even Gyro doesn't like playing into a Mage Slayer plus Pipe combo.
I'm looking at where these heroes are going for Heroic. And it's the Enigma position 5, which I feel like has not been seen as a support in so long for competitive.
It doesn't work most of the time when you see it. It doesn't work.
It's like a Chen, right? In a way, it's a
Is
weaker
it?
version of Chen.
Yeah, if someone's going to pull it out, it's either Insania or King Jungle.
I mean, so basically they're doing this to avoid the Enigma against Gyro matchup, right? They're trying to improve their odds of winning the lane, which I can understand why, but it means that their whole draft is slower, a lot slower, I think, with the Enigma position 5, because you don't really offer much to your team early game.
So then how are the lanes going to be looking if we feel like this Enigma might be good in lane, but not towards the later part? How important are we going to see BB team focus on having those lane wins?
I think this is solely because they have this DK plus Dawnbreaker ulti combo in the game. They want to accelerate the game, give Dawn a core role, so they can keep doing this when they get the X early, and just keep finding pickoffs on the map and play around that. I think they're hoping that would actually carry them through the game.
They have very good counter initiation as well. You have this Dawnbreaker, Aghanim Scepter is pretty much your core item. You have Dragon Knight who can blink in, Enigma. Eventually you're going to be getting the items as well on this position 5 Enigma, because you can always go to jungle, try to get some farm. Maybe stay in the lane a little bit longer depending how that lane's going to go, but you know, we always talk about Sanking not being the strongest laner. I want to see how much he's going to be able to get out of that lane.
And some final thoughts from you, Jenkins?
I think in that lane, he can get a lot. Against TA, you peel the refraction charges off. You got a Hoodwink in lane with you too. You're against Enigma 5. It's pretty easy.
All right, with our game number 3, we've already talked about how important this game is. It's elimination. For Heroic, if we see them advance, it could be the best placement South America has had. Before we get into the game, of course, we're going to hear from their coach, Caps.
Thank you very much. It is time for game number 3 of this elimination series. Caps, you seem pretty pleased with the heroes you got on the board. Tell me about what you got. Or we can just soak this in. Guys, are you ready for this game number 3? All right, let's get to the Dota. 5 heroes on the board. Tell me what you got.
We've been practicing this for some time. I love the draft setup. KJ is a fucking beast on Enigma. I hope you can deliver.
I think he just might. And since it is indeed elimination, and we heard it from Nat, if you win this game, this will be the best a South American team has ever done in South American and TI history. And you are no stranger to being a champion. I know in October of last year, you brought South America to their first ever LAN victory in Wallachia. Are you ready to get these guys hyped up? Tell me what you're gonna say to this Brazilian crowd, to all the South American Dota fans out there.
Can I get a mic?
It would be my honor.
I want to try something. Who is cheering for Heroic? Stand up. Who is cheering for Heroic? Stand up. Woo! I think we got more than 50%.
I think you did, Cass. Now let's get into game number 3.
A top 4 on the line for a South American team. A game 3 that is sure to be a banger, because the last time we were in this position, Avery, we got the 1 HP miracle or curse, depending on how you look at it.
That is a fabled game to bring up right now. A game of dreams, a game of nightmares. That is what TI always seems to deliver. And these guys have delivered some insane games so far on their run in this international. It all comes down to this, a final game to try and set history. And it's gonna be an absolute barn burner, because this is just skirmish city, man. Team fight on skirmish on more team fight.
Oh, already snacks the first blood. BB team, I had a fear for Heroic going into this, that they might just be overwhelmed by the pace that BB team have picked up. It is a lot of run at you Dota they're going to be bringing to the table, but if they can secure a laning phase win, that would do a lot to bolster their mid game.
You got the first blood on this gyro pick. This pick to me says, I want to be able to fight, I want to be able to have a strong lane, I'm going to skirmish. Everything about this game points to fast-paced fighting Dota. That is Heroic's wheelhouse. Once more, BB have decided to meet them on their ground, on their turf.
Schofield does everything he can to teleport away. They got the damage. BB team will return the favor. Kill for a kill in the top lane.
I don't think Pure wants to...
Ooh, almost falls as well. Turns Malphite back around on the Sand King. Does end up going down to save in the end.
There's going to be a lot of kills this game. It's already pretty fast. These teams are just going to go at it. And I love it. I mean, we might not even see some Helmet Dominators here. Dare I say it? Everybody just wants to fight. They want to take the team fights. Very low cooldowns in this game. I would love to see some of the early magic resist items for Heroic. The panel talked about the pipe, the potential Mage Slayer on the Dragon Knight could be super influential against BB. And if you're BB, you want to get this gyro online so you can contribute to the team fighting, and you want to make sure that GPK has a big game, because man, this guy has delivered and time again. Last game, I think he was way too stifled from the draft. This time around, he has a very strong hero in that Queen of Pain that can always scale, can always find team fight impact. Can he deliver one more time?
He does feel like, though, he is still a bit addressed, right? We've got some single target stuns that are rough for the Quap to be blinking in aggressively into. We've got the backline Fiend Script, we've got the Dragon Tail, and he also is going to be walking into some serious team fight between the Dawnbreaker and potentially the Enigma. Now, this Gyrocopter is pulled out of position a bit. Whisper conserving his mana for now. I mean, this is a offlaner that wants to get kills, but you've got to be very careful in how you use your mana.
Still has that Lotus victory, though. That'll go a long way for the Dawnbreaker in the offlane. A lot of resources at Whisper's disposal. Schofield tanking a lot.
If they don't go soon, Schofield's just going to die without anything in return for Heroic. The momentum now beginning to shift into Pure's favor in this safe lane.
And I love seeing BB get aggressive on their safe lane for once. It's felt like they've just been trying to survive in this lane for almost 2 series now. Yeah, pick a hero like Gyro that has Barrage. Run at your opponents, deal the DPS. You're going to take some back. I mean, that's a guarantee, but at least you're getting something out of this lane. Pure having a much better time in this game 3, at least at the start. Whisper trying to get some of that.
Wants one more hammer on him.
Out of range.
Katomi doesn't have the mana for the glimpse back. They were going to try and sandwich him here in the trees.
Oh,
he got the hammer on him and he got him! A teleport away denied! Pure, the walk of shame for him.
You almost should have just taken the death and been able to TP back with full resources, right? It's not as if this lane was going terribly for you. Now it is going terribly. That is going to be a lot of time off the lane for the Gyro. Big moves from Whisper. Getting a lot of experience off these kills as well. There is that walk of shame.
Oh God, with
it's
no
a slow one.
So slow.
No boots, no smoke. It's just playing Dota the hard way right now for Pure. I felt like this game was going to be a little better, but it seems this man is destined to struggle this event.
It really is. Mid lane matchup, let's talk about that. 18-11 compared to the 22-3. So the Quap walking away with a lot more denies, so should have the experience advantage, but Dragonite still getting some good gold out of the lane.
I don't think he's just lane for the Queen. GPK just winning that CS battle early, putting him in a really good position. You will have to get value out of these Sonic Waves, though. That's the biggest thing. If you're BB team, you want to be playing a fast-paced game with the glimpses and the bushwhacks, but Queen of Pain's your biggest early game damage dealer, particularly when that ult is up. Got to get GPK involved. That means focusing on those power roots, making sure his lane is good, and making sure Analog can't just push into that tower and force the Queen to sit here on low resources. Some situation like that is not going to feel great.
Save already marking his territory here. He's just going to camp out for 30 seconds if need be.
There's a triple stack potential for these Eidolons right now. KJ eyeing it up. Can he get them all?
Oh, yeah.
A little tricky.
As Cav said, they've been practicing this, and maybe this is
Oh,
exactly how a triple stack for
Beautiful.
KJ.
Absolutely beautiful. This is the stuff you have to practice in lobby. Nail that timing exactly, especially with all these camp timings changing every patch.
Still, at the same time, GPK did pick up the shield rune, and he has the level 6 advantage. So let's talk about, you said you have to get value out of this Sonic Wave, particularly if he's going to rotate out of lane, because that means the Dragon Knight will hit this mid tower. What's the plan for GPK? Where is he looking to make this use of this ultimate?
I mean, you're either just trying to kill the Dragon Knight with rotations into you if you think you have the damage. Might be a little iffy with the lack of really strong use from the supports. Otherwise, you wait out this Dragon form, and then you can maybe TP turn around one of these aggressive plays from the Dawnbreaker. That's kind of what I'm looking at. Like, punish Whisper if he tries to go on Pure again. Otherwise, you just have to
what are you up to? Sneaking his way in. Is he going to go for the Wisdom? No, he's not. He's already got the scan on them, so he knows not to contest that. Instead, just plays to make sure that they can invade the triangle when the time comes to contest this Gyrocopter.
Blocks the camp, gets vision up, trade out the shrines. This will pay off later, especially if these get stacked up for that Sand King. You can go in there and contest it with full vision. It'll be really influential down the stretch here. Still, Yuma coming out on top of this laning phase. Top net worth hero, getting solo XP now. Potentially can also have some ancient stacks built up for him and waiting, and there are. I mean, there's all those stacks in the jungle as well. KJ just playing an economy game. He's not really playing the lane. He hasn't been pressured to sit on there too much. He's not using the Eidolons into the Sand King. He's just using them to stack. Could potentially get another triple stack up in this Radiant jungle. They're sitting there, they're waiting. This would be a huge boon for that TA when he moves in there early. And not something I think BB expect. This is not something you're looking for right now.
No, certainly not. And this is, I love that you're doing this in a game 3 too, because BB team, all right, he missed one of them. But a double stack this time around. Nightmare pushing him up the cliff. Katomi in a bad spot now with Whisper cutting across too. They ensure they get that kill, but now with Miro with the epicenter, the Dawnbreaker ultimate, the Sonic Wave has to be used to finish off that tanky Dragon Knight, and now Whisper, victim of both the ultimates, will fall as well. Miro cutting across the map to make this happen. A big win for BBT.
That's a beautiful move from him. Not something Heroic expected at all, but BB are bringing the heat in this game 3. They are not going to get outnumbered. They are not going to get out-fought, and you have to respect the Dawnbreaker's capability to join these fights. There he's just in the river, but that can easily be a Solar Guardian to protect that DK on mid, so you need the numbers. You need the ults to go in, and a beautiful Sonic Wave connection. You caught Whisper going into it after the ult. That's just pure juice.
And then Pure being able to go into their triangle takes the hard camp stacks. We'll see if they're prepared to deal with the other stacks that Heroic have managed to build up themselves, but that combination of plays was huge.
This will still be a really nice accelerant for Yuma, because he doesn't want to go to that other ancient camp this early, but now this jungle is just pre-stacked, super efficient for him. You can give the bottom lane to the Enigma if KJ can stand down here without dying.
Yeah.
If he can just leech some XP, use Eidolons for some CS, he'll be happy. BB do not want to let that happen.
Yeah, they will punish KJ. He steps a bit too far forward, caught by the bushwhack, and gives Miro another kill.
Yeah, he had to be very disciplined down there, just hide in the trees type scenario. There's no way Save is going to let you leech experience on this dead lane.
They're going to give the Ancients 2 Whispers, so they're not just going to funnel it all to the Templar Assassin, which I do kind of like.
Yeah, he's already doing stacks himself. Like, it's just an insane amount of stacks coming out. Downside of all the stacking, though, is that Enigma didn't get to play the lane as much, which gave a very good game to the Sand King. And Miro has already put that to use, and his game is going to be a little slower. So there is a trade-off to this economy right now for Heroic.
No! Whisper, not now! Not on the main stage of TI!
Not his finest moment. I'm sure we've all been there, but not on this stage.
Meanwhile, on the other side, the opposing offlaner, he's clearing out stacks and has his Blink Dagger. So BB team are about to pick up the tempo more than they already have.
So farmed, man. This TA has 112 CS, and this Sand King is above him in net worth right now.
That's crazy.
That is a ridiculous start for the playmaker here on the side of BB. Maybe they insta-smoke with this and try and look for the play, because he has Epicenter available as well. Max Sandstorm is strong. He would love to fight around one of these tier 1s to transition into an objective. If you combine the Queen of Pain plus the Sand King right now, you can win any fight. It's an overwhelming amount of damage.
What a move from BB team, abandoning the off lane here. They baited out KJ. King Jungles sat in that safe lane, expecting BB team to go on him again, but
there's so
two-man smoke is going to be spoiled, and instead they'll try and take the off lane tower.
There's that smoke.
Here comes that Blink Dagger. KJ
nice
going to try and stop it as best he can, using the Eidolons to tank the tower. The Siege Wagon chips away at it, and BB team will reveal some of their heroes. But the full extent, not known by King Jungles, not hit by the Burrow Strike, but the Bushwhack will certainly land, and they'll still have a glimpse back when necessary. Pull them back in a little bit. BB team are very scared to go in on this. They just don't know what's behind King Jungles. They had the right idea. The Heroic was behind him. They finally commit. A bit of an overcommit with GPK dropping the Sonic Wave.
I mean, maybe he just wanted to kill, but he didn't even get it. That was a lot overcommittal. I mean, this is a super important spell in this early game. If you don't even get the tower out of it, you're going to feel a little bad with that usage. Nonetheless, you did save the epicenter, so you can continue to move Miro around this map. Turn him into a massive threat, and another double stack on this triangle. Just gotten out of control. There was the early ward placed there. Still up, by the way. He's never got dewarded on the cliff.
Is Heroic capable of contesting, though?
It's tough. I mean, you have Bane and Enigma. How do you get your supports in here and let them do anything, right? And your cores are not really contested. They're going to smoke for it. They're late to the party.
Schofield, he shows himself first, trying to get Katomi. Instead, the Static Storm for him. But the smoke wrapping up the side, that's going to be the bigger move. Miro committed its epicenter to kill this Bane. Dawnbreaker ultimate still coming in. Schofield somehow is still not dead, while the Heroic backstab does not land yet. They're still searching for these heroes. Okay, they managed to find Save up here in the jungle, but at the same time, oh, the Black Hole is going to whip on GPK, and here comes Pure. A host of magic damage that should bring to the Dragon Knight to his knees, and KJ soon to fall.
Such strong cores for BB to skirmish around a defensive choke point like that with their tower support coming in. Pure can easily clean these fights up with overwhelming spell damage. and you just glimpse the Dawnbreaker out. It's such a big factor. Whisper, he joins that fight. Looks like maybe you can turn off of his strength, glimpse straight back to top lane. You're just missing numbers. Yuma's not in the middle of that, giving you overwhelming physical damage. The Deso's not done yet. Felt like that was just a bit of a forced engagement. Yeah, you see them taking the stacks. Yeah, you want to contest this, but your heroes are just not built for it at this point in the game. And you gotta respect the damage this Gyrocopter can output. This is a fighting carry.
Particularly since you had another option that was very clear, right? You've got a Dragon. If they're going to back off and take off, you know, their jungle, their stacks, then you've got a Dragonite to pressure these towers. But instead, the tier 1 mid and the tier 1 safe lane are still up for BBT.
You're also just close to big items. Like that Blink just arrived for the DK. That's a clean initiation when he runs up the hill in the Queen of Pain. You can maybe make a play off that. Instead, it arrives now after that play. You were closing on the Deso. It just felt like the wrong time to try and strike BB. Gain a little momentum off that team fight and save, looking for more.
Yeah, Katomi, he tried to go for the Wisdom Shrine, see if he could sneak a Nightmare play. But he will be caught and killed on that.
Imp damage rune top as well, GBK. Pick it up for free right here, closing in on that level 12. Such a powerful rune at this point in the game for this hero.
Not only is BB Team getting the kills, obviously, with a score of 11-4 to their favor, but it feels like they're actually catching up in stacks.
They definitely recovered the stack team. Early, it went Heroic's way. Now, big game, it went their way. And they're just continuing to play off of Miro's strengths. Absolute beast in these smoke gangs. A lot of early smokes committed. That might be something that comes back to haunt you when the Roche is a contestable objective later. But for now, they are working, and it's giving you a lot of map control, especially if you get this tier 1 off this play.
And Pierre's going to make sure they do get it. With Miro behind them, ready to go with the epicenter, it's not possible for Heroic to stop this.
Taking advantage of the fact that the Enigma's just not that strong on the map compared to the outrange of the Disruptor. Hoodwink, Pierre. Listen, man, your games have been a struggle a little bit. Not make it any more difficult than we need to.
Yeah, there's no need to draw even more enemies on the field than you already have.
Just the Blink Dragon Knight move with the form already committed. They need to get something out of this.
Just using the Blink, they know they can catch him. Dragon Tail, Bean's Grip if necessary, and they feel like it is.
Big kill. That's a 4x streak, almost 1,000 gold to the team after that kill. And some early Deso charges for Yuma, almost level 13. Really nice clean pick off there, abusing the fact that tier 1 went down early in this game.
Speeding these cores along to BKB seems a necessity for Heroic, though Analog's not going to go for that.
Mage Slayer.
Mage Slayer instead for him. You actually think that's the better choice?
It's just so good against BB's lineup. Like, I don't know how you can turn it down. Maybe it's a little slow, but
I mean, by that same argument, isn't BKB really good against BB's team?
Yeah, it is. It is for sure. This item's a little cheaper, a little better of a farming item. You can kind of build some momentum with it.
He was just about to get his Aghanim Scepter. He buys it out, but in trouble. Tries to pull himself away from the epicenter. Turns back in with the Starbreaker and the ultimate. He's going to drop it on Miro, and Miro might be the one to be bursting here. Instead, though, the glimpse on the Templar Assassin stops the damage. Miro survives because of that. They claim Whisper's life. Take the tower once again. BB Team, every single time it feels like there's a full plan out here where they are getting a kill into an important objective.
And everything is going through the Sand King right now. Like, all these fights and plays start with him going in. It's just not a hero that Heroic want to commit into, especially when you're getting heroes glimpsed out of the fight. If you bring the whole team together, you take that fight head on, you can take him down. You can win that 5-on-5, but not when you're trickling in one by one and Kataomi just gets the punish. You have to be a bit more disciplined around this glimpse in these team fights.
The smoke is going to bypass the ward, but Yuma, he drew on the map. He knew that this play was coming, and despite the ward offering some false security, he will not be caught in this trap, and instead, they'll place their own little play here, a high ground ward, and wait to see if BB Team walk into them.
His map reads have been immaculate this event. Absolutely one of the hardest carries to kill this international, and BB trying to accomplish the near impossible. Will not find him. We'll have to just gate top, but who are you going to find up here? Just Eidolon's pushing the wave.
It does at least ensure that the tier 1 goes down, but they've left Pure alone here. Heroic They catch him on this ancient stack. It's hard to do, though. There's a defensive board around that ancient stack. The Watcher is up. Instead, they're going to spot save. A much easier kill. Dragon Tail stays pretty tanky, but they get the Nightmare to pull him back in. Whoa, got canceled there. Fiend's Grip. He'll finally go down.
Nice little pick off this ward in their own jungle. This is designed to do.
And slowing down the Vessel is going to be huge for Analog's game.
Definitely helps. I mean, they have a lot of defensive vision right now. Heroic just trying to play on their side of the map, play around these wards that are giving them a little extra info, let BB run into them. It's kind of been the MO of this game so far. They have one ward across the river, and it's that Radiant Ward bottom, which sees literally nothing, by the way, because it got replanted on by trees. So, not the most useful in terms of information. And there's the Ags for the Sand King. Incredible timing here. 5-1 and 4 start. He is going to do some serious damage in the team fights if he goes unchecked.
And I don't really know how you stop him unless you give the initiation, which Heroic hasn't really managed to do in this game.
Yeah, it's really dangerous to try and counterplay this team against the glimpse, against the AoE damage. There's just so much waiting for you when you drop in. Maybe the one upside for Heroic here is if the game slows down, like their team is the one that can kill Roshan very quickly off the TA, whereas it's a lot slower for BB.
Yeah.
They're a lot more magic damage AoE oriented. That Rosh is not so easy to bring down, so they can't, it's a little difficult to force objectives right now, even though they feel like they have the team fight advantage. They will likely take Tormentor here. That's the one they can do. There's BKB for the Templar Assassin. This is contestable.
I really thought they were just gonna accept that they would give up Tormentor in exchange for,
I mean, look at
playing for farm, but
the item timing, right? You got BKB on the TA, you got the Mage Slayer on the Dragon Knight, and you have Blink Dagger on King Jungles. This could be a super pivotal item. The first fight where that Enigma has Blink, sometimes you clump a little too much, he gets that big black hole.
BB team are not doing the Tormentor. They're waiting and waiting. Patience may just pay off here. Schofield, he's going to be the one to break. They got the vision on him, trying to get a ward up there. Does manage to spot out at least the Sand King. Analog blinks over the initiation. He got the Dragon Tail stun into a little bit more. The Stormbreaker on the JPK, but it goes away. And JPK, not dead yet, gets off the Sonic Wave and stays standing.
These glimpses have destroyed them in the fight.
How do you stop them if you don't have BKBs on all your cores?
Still a black hole here.
He's still got here. Black hole goes out, immediate glimpse. Still the Whisper. He's the Starbreaker. Oh, always pure. One more Metal Cannon. They've got him. Whisper. He runs headlong into BB team, accepting that this life is forfeit. He'll help get Yuma out of here. Will Yuma complete the escape? KJ, he'll make sure that Yuma backs away. Yuma, you got to get out of here. Oh, he's turning and fighting. This is insane. He's got Schofield trying to help out. Tries to blow up the save. Meanwhile, the Fiend's grip on JPK. JPK does end up going down. Yuma fighting for his life underneath the sandstorm and winning with the buyback coming out from the Heroic support. They'll find another. That's two down. Making a third. What the hell was that? Yuma and Schofield make the call on 2 versus 4 to turn the whole damn game.
You have to play with confidence at TI. You have to go for the big plays. Yuma says, I don't care if we lost the fight. I'm going to make my own. I'm going to win my own. What a turn and what a call from the Heroic carry. They're going to get this Tormentor.
That could have been the game just being over for Heroic. Instead, they've given themselves the lead in a game 3.
Such a difficult call to make, and they played it perfectly. And this black hole, that's as much as you can get there, right? It goes off just long enough that you're able to secure that gyrocopter kill. That's what you want. You're going to have to pay some price to bring him down. But man, I was like, why is Yuma lingering here? There is nothing left to be done, but the Bane coming in with grip is just enough to give you confidence to go for this play, and nobody could cancel it.
Yeah, what happens if Miro was able to, if he had Burrow strike up to stop that Fiend's grip in the first place? It could have been such a different fight, but instead, Heroic, now they've got quite the lead. 2,000 net worth up. Schofield, he'll be picked off by BB team, who were threatening the Roshan. Schofield got some information on that. Get it?
Looking for the glimpse?
Not quite.
I mean, they were threatening Roche, but this is a very slow Roche.
Yeah.
Again, they can't force the issue when they feel strong. That is the good news for Heroic. And man, Yuma is massive now. Level 18 on this Templar Assassin, 12 Deso charges. he gets this Daedalus, he is going to cook them in the fight. This lineup has a big weakness in it, which is the man fight potential, the ability to stand there and fight a BKB carry. The Gyro cannot deliver in that department for some time, which is why he desperately wants this Aegis right now.
It's slow, but BB team confident that they could still win the fight. No! What a fast reaction from King Jungles! Pulled back in, but he's completely whipped out on that Static Storm. Still though, wait, GPK's in trouble once again. Do we see this one before? But the Bushwhack saves it this time, and an epicenter demolishing Heroic right in the middle. Still though, Yuma had a chance, couldn't kill Miro. BKB TP out, Whisper dies as he just runs down, same as Schofield. BB team, they hit right back.
Saves Hoodwink is so goddamn good. It is ridiculous. He has delivered time and time again on this hero. He always finds the Bushwhack at the exact moment BBT needed in the fight. They get a swift Roshan into a team fight victory. The momentum swings back their way up 2K, and now this Gyro can take the fight to the Templar Assassin because he has 2 lives to do it. Ags online, Manta online, and then Ags delivered for the Queen of Pain. That will be GPK's item of choice to try and scale into this one. Could be pretty nasty against this lineup that's already a little clunky and doesn't have that much mobility along all 3 of their cores. You get hit by these daggers, it's just gonna kite you out. It's gonna make your life miserable. You're gonna be stuck in the sandstorm. This team fight is not getting easier for you right now. You have a black hole available. Go for a quick solo pick-off.
I mean, the Sand King is everything to BB team. So when he's dead for this 45 seconds, it does give Heroic free reign.
Nice find. Absolutely drop this Enigma ultimate to take a core off the map. That's a lot of time to recover, get the farm back up. But I will say Analog's road ahead of him looks difficult. I mean, this Dragon Knight 1-4 start. He went the Mage Slayer, didn't get the team fight victories out of it.
Yeah.
Now this item feels like he should have gone for something that's going to scale a bit harder. Very tough position for him to be in. He's just going to have to play on the front line, use his strength and tankiness to deliver a teamfight victory for Heroic while Yuma cleans him up with the damage.
Do you think that the Dragon Knight's lack of skill right now is why the game favors BB team so much? I mean, they've given it a 70-30 matchup. Well, why do you think that is?
Their cores are out ahead, and they're going to be able to kite the Dragon Knight out. The Dragon Knight's not delivering enough damage. This Dawnbreaker's not delivering enough damage. They have some decent sustain, but BB can push through that, as we've seen, especially Queen of Pain with an Axe build. She delivers a lot of sustained damage over the course of a long fight.
That's why Heroic could put so much effort into killing this Quav at the start of every fight. But that last Bushwhack
that was
saved
so nasty.
GPK's game, though cut out by the Fiend's Grip here.
Beautiful catch. Heroic finding some openings on this map right now. This Aegis period has not been clean for BB. In fact, I think they're losing net worth lead. The solo ultimate pickoff game between these two supports is amazing if you can just continue to do it. There's nothing global to bail you out. There is no Dawnbreaker ult. There is no global silence. Found some big ones here. And Yuma's been involved every time, which is the one here that's continuing to scale and power up for Heroic. Level 20 now in this Templar Assassin. It's about to finish Daedalus. Continuing to find the Deso charges. It'll be a fast butterfly for Pure. Try and bring some evasion to the field against STA, who's not going to have MKB for a while. Would be a really nice timing to get it online. You combine that with a Satanic later, you're going to be very tanky. But Heroic definitely recovered this period. I thought this was going to be a lot worse for them. Instead, they just took the lead. They found 2 big pickoffs. You're almost doing Enigma BKB here.
That's crazy. They have nothing to stop that.
Nope, it is a free Enigma BKB black hole game, and that is the terrifying part of this pick. I think KJ has itemized absolutely correctly. You could have gone for some auras. You could have, tried to build a pipe or something. No, just go BKB Blake, get in there, and deal the damage. If you're in a situation where you can black hole the Queen of Pain or the Gyrocopter, that can just be the team fight over. Yeah. You're taking so much damage out of BB's lineup, which is another reason why they have to continue to scale 3 cores here. You are up against some very strong debuff piercing ultimates between the Bane and the Enigma. You cannot rely on one hero to be the say-all, be-it-all. You need to get in there with everybody and deal damage across the board.
BB team, with less than a minute left on this Aegis, want to take the tier 2 top, completed a butterfly. A lot of timings coming together here. And Pure likely to just brute force it. Level 20 as well.
You have to get something out of this Aegis. You have lost around 4 or 5K net worth lead.
It will also be the Wisdom Shrine.
Another big win.
See, Whisper, he's going to try and stop Miro on the other side, but
They're
Miro
gonna
gets
fight
there
the other
first.
one.
And that means they're going to chase after the gyrocopter.
Unable to find the stun. Could have solar guardianed into that. That was a dangerous play for Pure.
That was.
KJ playing with fire on the back line here, just taking camps away, getting wards out.
Yeah, look at all the vision he's gotten down and placed that lane ward up top. Like, they know what the game plan is. KJ, he wants to just wrap the map as much as possible. He's doing a good job of it with his Eidolons.
Yeah,
The
he's
wards
playing super
enable
well.
that.
I mean, this is an impactful 0-8 Enigma. It does not feel like he's 0-8.
No, it doesn't.
You can also just potentially find a solo hero with Black Hole into Solar Guardian. Like, that is enough damage to bring some of the heroes down in this game.
He commits for the courier.
That's the gyro courier that didn't die.
Got off the shield. That means Pure will still have a TP scroll if that courier can get to him. Who are currently smoke wrapping through triangle, getting deep into heroic side of the map
Yuma.
and wrapping into Yuma. Yuma see him right past him. He blinks away. Instead, they get the Bane. Even getting the BKB out of the Templar Assassin would have been a small win, but smaller still is the life of Schofield.
Maybe they try and kick Analog out up here, but there's Radiant Vision up here. He can play it to the limit. And that was an amp damage Queen of Pain for GPK. That was something they wanted to turn into a team fight. Won't get it. We'll have to probably wait for this next Roshan if Heroic continue to dodge. Though there's the BKB for KJ. Their team fight's online. It looks scary, man. This black hole is going to be a big problem if you clump.
I think it's always scary when you have the rat combined with the clump punish, because you're so busy running around the map that sometimes, you know, maybe discipline, it wavers a little bit and you don't maintain that positional, you know, distance between each other to make sure you don't get black hole. You're so busy chasing after the Enigma or the Dragon Knight who are ratting you out that you may find yourself in a turnaround situation.
Or you
Heroic.
may not expect the move to come into you because you've been on the chase for so long. Now you are the chase.
And it's Katomi. Two-shot casually by Yuma. The rest of the smoke not revealed yet. Now it shows on a Save. Save shoots himself down to the low ground, but revealed. The trees are taken away from him. All cover gone, and Yuma, a godlike spree for him and his Templar Assassin as they regain control.
Just feels like Heroic have a better read on this map right now. Yuma just playing out of his mind. A perfect game from him so far, 9-0. TA has an insane amount of Deso charges, an insane amount of damage, and if you give him an Aegis in this game, that was an important reason why BB took it away. You do not want to put Aegises on this Templar Assassin. That fight becomes impossible. Heroic just outmaneuvering him right now. They have found more pickoffs, they've gotten the lanes in better, they've got deeper vision, more information to play off of, and it kind of feels like they're outscaling him. Like, they have this Enigma backup, they have this Bane grip that can come out. I don't know what this Gyro is supposed to do in these late game fights against all these debuff Pure Scene ultimates. You can recover this Dragon Knight's game. It's not impossible. He already has that BKB done. He can build into some damage. You can get a Bloodthorn here. You can eventually get to Black Dragon if you want it. You can get a Mjolnir. Whatever your choice is, this DK is going to do some serious damage. There's a lot of pressure on BB to try and find something here in the next 5 or so minutes leading into this next Roshan. Have to execute, have to find a jump, have to make Heroic clump so your AoE can go to work. That's the best thing about your lineup.
Are they ever going to have anything that stops BKB TP out? At this rate, it feels like Heroic could do this indefinitely as long as they have the right vision to see the initiation coming. It feels like they can just keep splitting the map until they're finally ready to fight again.
Austin, this is Heroic. Heroic doesn't dodge you. Heroic fights you. Okay, if they're stronger, they're going to force the issue.
I guess the question remains, do they think they're stronger?
Oh, they're
trying
stronger.
to play for Roche right now. They know the exact timing of it thanks to the Templar Assassin innate.
A max respawn.
A double meld hit.
It's fast.
It's going to be so fast that BB team, even if they were to move right now, they wouldn't get there in time.
Such a big win. I mean, it's not just a win because you get an Aegis on a TA, it's a win because there was never a team fight around this point for BB. That is one of the places they could have gotten a clump out of Heroic. just naturally doing the Roshan. Their lineup could have punished that. That fight never happens. You missed that opportunity. Now that team fight's going to happen in terrain that is far better for Heroic to fight around.
I will say this, without a doubt, BB team just looked more scary. Right? They've clumped all the way. They're just 5-manning across the map non-stop. Heroic, they're playing with some risk, right? Their heroes are split up around the map, and as a result, the net worth that they pulled back into their favor has swung this win probability to almost an even game.
I will say Pure is hitting his power point, right? That Satanic's done. He has the butterfly. There is no evasion Pierce on this TA yet. You get some good evasion procs in that fight. You get a good Satanic off. You can live for a very long time here. You can maybe even survive some of those big ults coming out from the supports. But you're right, they're playing a little scared. I mean, there's a Tormentor sitting there right behind him. They're expecting the fight, but how long can you wait for this? Everybody waiting for the fight to come to them right now. This is what happens in a TI elimination game. You do not want to be the first to pull the trigger.
BB team, how long are you willing to sit here?
You got to just do this Tormentor, right? They're trying to bait it a little bit.
But what if Heroic never want to contest? What if they just want to farm?
This is where patience can be rewarded. They just walked over that observer ward, BB. They got information. That's what they wanted. They saw 2 cores up here. Can you get the jump?
A little bit out of sight. They spot Yuma. Yuma's right underneath the ward. Can Miro get this initiation? They've got to chain the stuns. Yuma's walking into them. Oh, wait! They make a little bit of a jump there, but this gives Yuma. They don't want to go after this Aegis hero. But
they want Analog.
That was your option. They go for Analog on this burrow! And the BKB goes off from Analog. BB team, can they recover this? Instead, they find Schofield. But Dragonite, he jumps into the back line, and that gives the opening Whisper. Hit 3, a massive ultimate, and now a black hole! Stun web over the top of Solar Guardian. That will be the nail in the coffin for BB team.
You clump against a lineup that punishes you so damn hard every time. The confident jump from Analog, knowing his team will back him up even with the BKB expiring. You have Aegis to play with. It let Yuma frontline. BB saw no good targets. They got pushed into a corner, and they had no answer for the team fight supremacy that was double Solar Guardian Black Hole. That ult from Whisper stunned everybody just on the edge. Heroic break this game open. They are going high ground. 11K gold lead, 2 minutes on the Aegis. No buyback available for this gyro for 40. This should be 1 lane, maybe 2, guaranteed. And a potential top 4 for the first time in Dota history for a South American squad.
The spirit of an entire region behind Heroic, and they're playing like it. They're playing with that aggression, with that fearlessness. And now they've got full, firm control over this game. 13,000 net worth lead, and an Aegis still for a minute and a half. A banner still for another push if they want to try for it. BB team, they push outside of the base. They find Schofield, something small to work with. Heroic, say you can have him.
Let's die back on the Bane. At least you get some time to regroup here. But how is the team fight getting better for you? That's the big question BB have yet to address. You can put your gyro on the front line. You can maybe just say, okay, we messed up that burrow strike. We lost a lot of the Sand King's damage, but there are BKBs on the side of Heroic. There's double Solar Guardian to help you sustain through it. And the black hole threat is just immense right now. You don't have a clear answer to it. You can sense the frustration. You can sense the dire situation BB are in right now. This is just a nasty fight. If the TA isn't there with Aegis, that's a very different story, right? That ward was extremely good. You had the angle, but you didn't want to jump him, and you can't blame him.
And then Analog gives the opening for Whisper, and both Pure and Kantomi. Pure stuck in the Lotus pool. I didn't have a way out.
Just land a black hole on 3. Throw the other Guardian on top. That Lotus pool did him no favors. They just got stuck in it.
Whisper, over 5,000 damage being done. And he knows he might have just won the series for them.
So clutch.
Level 25 for Templar Assassin. Level 25 for the Dawnbreaker right around the corner.
Big talents. absolutely massive talents. You're even going to have the level 18 on KJ for the level 3 black hole. That's a significant damage upgrade. And you have the Bloodthorn on the Dragon Knight. All the late game scaling coming in for Heroic ahead of BB. You still need BKB on the Queen of Pain here. You need Refresher on the Sand King. These are the biggest items that BB need right now. Just getting to him a little slower. If that fight breaks out before you have double Epicenter, it looks near impossible. I mean, this could be a game where you might just have to go Divine Rapier on the Gyro. Like, it doesn't feel great, but you are going to need some overwhelming punch in the fight. There's nowhere else it can come from.
BB team, they've had some crazy comebacks before in this international. Their backs are against the wall on this one, and it's beginning to show. Miro's failed jump on that Burrow Strike. The nerves are clearly playing a hand here in this game for BB team. The pressure cooker that is TI. You will not experience more intense situation as a Dota player than this.
You can't practice for it. You just have to hope that decades of experience go the distance when it matters most.
It's what it means to be clutch. You either got it or you don't.
There's
another Tormentor for Heroic.
They're just getting so much right now. Analog's game completely recovered. Level 25 available for the Dawnbreaker and the TA.
Yuma runs right into Pure. Hello.
Not afraid at all. Some damage off that Sharpshooter.
Yeah, he did get pretty low. And they will Solar Guardian just to make sure he does not get jumped in this instant. Miro trying to go for it, but a double BKBs, and he's met with a Dragon Tail, a Fate's Grip over the top, and once again, the initiation is denied.
That was bizarre. They just let him sleep there forever. I don't know if that was a bait or just, it was so janky, but BB fell for it. They ended up losing their Sand King, who was on his way to that Refresher. They might have to take this fight without him. Need to find something here. He has no buyback.
A quick pick up on Schofield would do one for them. They do have the Static Storm. There's no BKB, so Solar Guardian goes out. They've got the black hole. It's catching the Gyrocopter. Sonic Wave trying to push away. Here with Satanic. It's keeping himself up. 1 versus 4 for them all. Trying to take down one of these cores. He's fighting up against Analog, and he's getting the lifesteal to keep himself up. BB team on the edge, but they will hold off that fall just a little longer.
Dude, what a fight from Pure. He just gets in the middle of everybody with this Satanic Butterfly, gets a couple evasion procs. The Dragon Knight got us isolated, couldn't put the damage into him. He survives, gets a massive Satanic off, and finally able to deliver a killing blow to Heroic in this team fight. That was a very bold fight to take, 4 on 5, without your biggest team fighter. Beautiful execution here. Sonic Wave lands exactly when you needed it on all 3 cores.
Look at
Push
Yuma
up.
Oh man, pushed up to that high ground. What can you do?
And the daggers are just flying from GPK the entire time. They took such good advantage of that Dragon Knight being isolated in the kinetic field Static Storm, pulling a team fight win out of nowhere. BB do it again, and they're gonna get Roche off this. This is gonna be another Aegis for Pure to play with. Refresher Shard in the pit, Banner in the pit, to take all of that away from Heroic. That would have been a game ender.
The game has slipped through Heroic's grasp.
They were in control. They were marching their way to victory. And now this is absolutely anybody's game.
They've got to claw it back.
I mean, is
but
this...
BB team, they've got the momentum now.
Is this divine territory for Pure? I ask it again. You have Aegis. You're getting close to that gold. You're running out of slots. This man has done it before at TI. It's not uncomfortable for him, and it might be what you need to win this game. Just think it's Swift Blink.
A refresher for Miro. So if they can find that initiation, Pure will be able to jump right into it, as will the Disruptor potentially. Now that Burrow Strike, it's a lot more deadly if it's an Ag Static Storm over the top of it.
These are the opportunities BB need to win these fights. Didn't exist 4 or 5 minutes ago. They exist now. You have an opening. You can go in with this Burrow Strike and threaten any of these cores because that Ag Static Storm will be dropped on top, and there is no way to bail that hero out other than committing more with the Solar Guardians on top, with a black hole in the middle of everybody. It could work out for you. It could be an absolute disaster.
Yeah, the more you throw it at, the higher the risk is, right? Maybe that Solar Guardian doesn't save you. Maybe you're just running into that Static Storm, and BB team on the hunt. 3.5 minutes left on this Aegis. Sweeping across the map, keeping that same 5-man formation. They say, if we're gonna go down, we're gonna go down together.
Pure, he disassembled that butterfly for Swift Blink. Felt like the MKB was incoming for Yuma, which would have been his next item, but he doesn't have it yet. Kind of interesting to give up that evasion. You do have 2 lives off the Aegis and that Satanic.
Especially since that evasion was entirely what saved him in that last engagement.
Absolutely did work. Look at this base ward right here. This is incredibly nasty if you get caught on it.
Something interesting to work with. You get a little information on the Dawnbreaker.
And keep in mind, 25 hit for GPK. That's a Sonic Wave damage upgrade. This thing's hitting for 900, and he's the one who got the Refresher Shard off the Roche. So it's going to be double 900 damage, pure damage Sonic Waves going into the fight, amped up even more. This is over 2,000 damage of pure going into somebody. Somebody just has to take it.
Heroic have to get the jump. It's the only option. And Pure is going to put them in a very uncomfortable position. With the banner drop and a Swift linking into the base.
You do not want to dive too deep, though. This is still a lineup that can
look at the cut. This is big. If they can manage to take away the mid-creep wave as well, so that should be protected by BB team.
Kills that banner, though. That hurts a little bit if you're gonna commit to the high ground push here. It's such a terrifying push. You don't know who has buyback available. And guess what? It's all 5 for Heroic. They all saved it up. This push is almost doomed to fail unless you execute out of your minds right now. Fortune favors the bold.
Will it favor him here? A bold move to go into the base, but they found the bushwhack into the epicenter initiation of Sonic Wave 1, and that's one down. Now they still have the Solar Guardian though, so it does trade off core for core with the buyback being used on the Dragonite. Heroic, they want to make the most of this situation. They got the control on the GPK, another Solar Guardian to finish him off. The bushwhack from the Templar assassin that fade, and GPK, he's away. Another Sonic Wave, and back in. A killer instinct for GPK, but it might just go awry here as a black hole. It catches Pure.
Safe Whisper.
Wait a minute, a Satanic. He stays alive, doesn't lose the Aegis just yet, but Analog, that's going to be a dieback for him. A Nightmare on the high ground. No, he's not going to make it. Stuck on the low ground and nothing on a bushwhack.
Save.
Give him an opportunity. BB team still working with this Aegis. Do they go in? Do they go for the throat? 2 heroes dead, one of them with no buyback.
You use GPKs though, you all in here and you die. It's game. It's up to Pure. It's his call. It's his shot to take right now. 30 seconds on the Aegis. Another buyback from Heroic. They're down to 2. Whisper on that Dawnbreaker. Yuma on that TA. They somehow got Whisper out of that
Another
fight.
refresher. They may not see this coming. There's another black hole available. As you said, all day they got the Static Storm on a Pure.
But you can't go.
They can't. No. GPK, he does go. He does get that kill. He does force that buyback.
Where is it? Yuma, you have to pull the trigger. There it is.
KJ, this is an opportunity. A moment for greatness. Can he hit the black hole? That sets up everything for Heroic. God damn, it's not enough. Pure hits the Satanic, and everything is wasted for Heroic.
How is he alive? He's just tanking
Sideblade after sideblade, not enough to kill Miro. And Pure, he can play it slow. He's got another Satanic coming up.
There's no way you back here, right? I mean, you have pushed this to the limit so far. You have another Satanic. You've gotten everything out of Heroic from 5 buybacks to none available. Black hole dropped. Refresher black hole dropped. There's nothing left in the tank. Pure makes the call. Divine Rapier, Swift Blink in. He's going for the throat. Going for the throne. He wants to deny a South American top 4.
And claim his own top 4. He made it to the final day of TI before. He's led a team to this victory before. He apologized to his team. He said, I'm sorry, but next time, I will carry you.
and he does it! He takes his team all the way to top 4 at a TI!
What a redemption game for that man right there. That thing looked completely out of reach, and somehow that one team fight bottoms here too. Belief in the squad, belief in your carry, go in, let him do the work. The satanic timing was beautiful, and Pure just turns this game on its head. Crazy bushwhacks from Save, crazy survivability from GPK. This team was pushed to the brink, but they just did not give up, and they will find themselves victorious in a Game 3 that seemed out of reach, denying South America that top 4 that has always eluded them. It was so close. If you execute one more team fight in that game, it is yours.
It was all it took, just one more fight. And South America, hearts bleeding right now. They've been here before. They've watched a team come so close to setting history. And Heroic regrets and redemption. The two sides of the coin in these matches. Overwhelming happiness for the win and unforgettable grief in the loss.
Man, what a series for these two teams. It's one of the most memorable BO3s I think we have seen at TI in a long time. So much on the line, so many clutch plays, so many insane team fight victories off the spellcasting alone. And that last fight, that base defense, you land the black hole of your dreams. You cannot ask for more, and it is not enough.
Let's talk to the man of the hour. He did it. He did it for BB Team. Let's talk to Pure.
Pure, I mean, what on earth was going through your head at the end of that game? You were locked in, making no mistakes. How do you stay focused in a moment like that?
I mean, I think I made quite a lot of mistakes, but we won in the end, guys. So happy about that.
You mentioned before in an interview for a different language yesterday that you feel like you haven't been playing your best this TI, but I think that game earned you a lot of redemption. That was some incredible moments. Do you feel like you've redeemed yourself?
Of course, guys, I think we disappoint you a lot, guys, with games against Falcons in the upper bracket, guys, but we gonna came back stronger, and we already show you, we have already shown you that we can win, and we're gonna try our best, and we're gonna be even stronger in the finals days and in the finals, guys.
All the way to the finals, that is a promise right there. I also want to ask you about your teammates as well, of course, because GPK, he has been pulling in some incredible moments. What's it been like playing with him as a teammate throughout this tournament?
I mean, he's crazy good. He's always been like that, like this last year. And I think he's performing as his best as always, so just pleased to play with him, you know, like it's good to have him in my team.
He has been fantastic. Last question from me then. Of course, we do say goodbye to the South Americans here, but as an incredible carry player yourself, how do you feel about how Yuma and the rest of Heroic played in that series?
He played good. I think he made a lot of progress like since last year, and he's playing really nice. I think he's a proper carry. He can win some tournaments maybe someday.
Maybe, but not today. Today is your day as you go through 2 top 4. Guys, give it up for Pure and BB Team!
What a series that we have been treated to here. It was elimination for BB Team or Heroic, and the way that this Game 3 played out, there was desperation from both sides. Everyone trying to do what they possibly can, and whilst Heroic might not go down in the history books for the highest placement of a South American team, they will definitely go down in histories with the play that they made, the series they gave for us, and of course that black hole towards the end there.
Oh my God.
Arena was on their feet for it.
That was genius, and the fact that it didn't work out. I just want to thank both of these teams for giving us the best series of the tournament so far in a tournament that has already been one of the hypest TIs ever. this was an incredible game of Dota and an incredible series. Just thank you. I feel like you can feel the energy in the arena right now.
Yeah, the person who delivered for that was, of course, KJ, and unfortunately with that loss, we do have to say goodbye to him and the team of Heroic.
Yeah, thanks. I am here with KJ. KJ, you can hear the crowd's reaction. You guys played, in my opinion, and the crowd's opinion, and the panel's, the best Dota that we've seen in this tournament, the most exciting games. Did you guys have fun while you were here? It looked like you were having the time of your lives.
Yeah, it was pretty damn fun. Didn't explode the throne, but I was happy to play here and to show you guys that we are a world-class team. We are Brazilians, Peruvians, Nicaragua, but we are a world-class team. So if there was any doubt of that, we showed it, and we put up a fight.
You put up a hell of a fight, and I know you can hear the fans here, but there's a section of South American fans who have been going absolutely mad for you guys the whole time. Do you have anything you'd like to say to them specifically?
Thanks for cheering, everyone. Valeu pela torcida. Galera da Heroic aí muito animada, dá pra ouvir todo mundo lá de dentro. Muito feliz. It's you that's watching that makes this special. If it weren't for you, this would be very boring. It's just a game. But with you, it's a dream. It's everything. I love this shit. Let's go. Next year, you're gonna see me here. And I'm gonna win. You're gonna see me here. I'm coming back.
Holy shit! Thank you, KJ. That was perfect. Back to you guys.
Oh my goodness, I'm telling you, no one does it like Heroic, no one does it like KJ. While this man has been eliminated from TI, his dreams, they're still there. He's saying next year, Lucas, it's his year.
I mean, this has to be the most positive exit interview that I've seen. You know, him being hyped up, like being excited to be in the crowd, and also a big promise that he needs to fulfill. And I believe that they can do it because this team showed some extremely good performances. The crowd is definitely cheering for them, but also the way that they've been playing, it's just a chef's kiss every single time. Unfortunately, we have to say goodbye, but I think they won a lot of hearts in the arena and whoever is watching on the broadcast.
100%.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe they didn't win this championship, but in every future tournament, I can guarantee you, this is going to be a fan favorite team now. Like these guys, they clearly love the game so much. They're so fun to watch, and they're so likable, all of them.
Yeah, you can't help but feel yourself cheering for that team. Unfortunately, no longer here, but we are going to be looking at this game number 3 a little bit more, trying to break down what happened in that earlier part and why we had such a close fight, why we had such an amazing comeback from BB team. And it all started with that first blood, Winter.
I mean, the first blood was kind of like a really, really good outplay, a little bit of outplay here by Whisper. You can see he's almost going to hit level 2 soon, and he's going to use his slow to get to level 2 here, and Pure totally caught unexpected here, and he just dies, you know, because Dawn level 2 is like one of the biggest spike here, and once again, because of that earlier kill, this happens, right? They get the dive, Pure doesn't have any more resources, and it was a really, really good read here by Whisper, catching him, knowing that the only way he escapes here is TPing in the corner.
It was such a high-skill game of Dota. Like, there's no world where you have to be playing against a very skilled opponent that is paying close attention to your levels, that you can make that play and find that opening. Like a single creep and then using the resources to get that. Like this was world-class Dota.
Yeah, I mean, this is why like you always hear like take the range creep, take the range creep. You're listening to the comms like in the lanes, the range creep matters a lot just because of situations like this, and that one kill actually snowballed the lane so much.
Yeah, it really did. Something, though, that we weren't really sure about is how Position 5 Enigma is going to fit into this meta. It's been out of the limelight for so long when it comes to competitive, but KJ put on an absolute beautiful shot.
Oh, yeah, he has a couple of tricks up his sleeve. Look at this, Position 5 Enigma, 5 minutes in, 6 about to spawn, so he's stacking 3 camps at the same time.
That is so hard to do, by the way.
It really is, and they're also trying to win this economy more, and look at what Save is doing a couple of minutes later, because a couple of minutes earlier, there was Enigma in the enemy triangle, putting down Center Ward, putting down Observer Ward on the hill, making sure that they are winning that economy more, making sure that there's going to be a lot of, and also another one, I just have to stop talking because what he does here is he uses Midnight Pulse immediately predicting their save is going to be using Bushwhack, making sure that Yuma is not going to get stunned there and killed, and lands another good black hole. We saw multiple man black holes coming up from KJ, and I just became even a bigger fan after this one, and this guy is just amazing.
I think after watching this, I don't have any plans of going and playing Enigma in my pubs. Position 5, like the amount of stuff that you have to do to make it work, you have to be such a savant at the hero.
I mean, this is why the coach was so confident. He said King Jungle's Enigma is really, really good. Like, he knows every little bit of the hero, every inch, like in the early game, what he can do. Because this hero is so greedy, right? If you don't do enough in the early game, it's very difficult to have space for your hero to farm in the mid-late game.
Yeah, and then you start to wonder, when is he going to be able to have an impact in the team fights? When is he going to be able to start joining? But these teams started fighting early on, significantly earlier than what we've seen other teams start to do. It was around this 12-odd minute mark where it's like, yeah, everyone's coming together, and let's try and make some initiations. It still stacks.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, I think the second Dawnbreaker ulti, which I feel like BB team, they were able to force the Dawnbreaker ulti on a very defensive way where they are trying to use it to save a teammate. I think in most cases, you want to use it offensively with the DK stun to kill someone. But here they were using it to save Schofield, but he died, and the fight didn't really turn out so well for them. So props to BB team for able to force the Dawnbreaker ulti to be used in a very defensive way.
I think this is part of why we've seen Dawnbreaker falling off a little bit, is that the higher skilled teams are good at like baiting out the ulti and essentially playing around the hero. Whisper still made it extremely hard to deal with, especially when he got the Dazun Blood right, as well as the talent that increases the AoE of it. It was very hard to not be like counter-initiated on, but there were a few times that BB team did a really good job.
Yeah, I mean, I think this game definitely showcased why the hero, I think, is still a very, very strong pick at the right time, especially when Silencer is banned, right? I think you mentioned that a couple of times. When there's no Silencer in the game, the other counters doesn't really seem like it will bother the Dawn too much.
Yeah, there were still moments where we're like, okay, this Dawn, why isn't she getting picked more? And then you see some of the solutions there. We were also seeing a lot of fighting around this Tormentor. 20 minutes, that's when we see teams clash a lot.
This is not the goofy one. The goofy one where they stood around for like 5 minutes happened a lot later. It was such a tense game. And I think this was a really high skill play by BB, like knowing that with the TA, of course you want to go to that Tormentor. This hero can like legitimately solo the Tormentor, so you do not want to give this objective up. So they bank on the fact that Heroic is like, okay, well, BB's going to try to take it from us then. So there's just multiple levels to the gameplay here. And the team fight, the Black Hole, it was very nice on Pure. Unfortunately gets interrupted. You saw the Hoodwink could not connect the stun earlier, like Lacoste mentioned. In this fight, it dragged on and dragged on and dragged on. And eventually, BB being patient on that Tormentor high ground did pay off.
Yeah, we're going to see the rest of what happens here, though, because whilst they're patient on that high ground, they overextend, and you're able to get better positioning on the side of Heroic, and it actually leads to them getting the
this is something that only happens at TI, to be honest. Like, the pressure is there. You feel the nerves. You feel like we can do this. We can end. Like, we can get a bunch of kills here, eventually end the game, get a big lead.
I also think
you can overchase.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of these top-tier teams that are still left in the tournament utilizing these buybacks, making sure that they're going to be winning the fights. We saw earlier in Enigma series as well, 20-minute buyback coming out from under, or just a kill sniper on XM, buying back one more time. So understanding that certain heroes are much stronger, especially those that have global presence, potentially like a Dawnbreaker in this series as well. Whisper, he had a great game. The Refresher, the Aghanim Scepter build. He also did build into a bit of a later pipe combined with the Mage. We did reduce tons of damage, but most of the damage in the late game was physical, and the way they did it on Pure with this Blink, Divine Ray, Pure Butterfly, disassembling with the Chop Shop. I think Pure is the one who's like ready to go in multiple times, risking everything. We saw it in game number 1 with the buybacks as well on their side. I think buybacks is a very crucial thing that we also need to mention a lot.
Whisper even ended the game with the Blade Mail. When they were in the 2 or 3v5 situation, he not only goes for this late game pipe, which I think is really interesting, you kind of have to do against all of this magic damage, but he goes for the Blade Mail to try to...
This was the game-defining fight here, where the Gyro kind of solo carried. I don't want to say solo, but he kind of didn't die and carried the game. It looked like it was going to be really bad because it was a 4v5 fight. I don't think Kyori expected BB team to actually take the fight, but somehow Pure doesn't die, and he survives and he kills everyone and totally turns the game around.
Yeah, having that satanic for him, being able to get it off, him unfortunately not dying in that black hole. This is when things started to unravel a little bit for Heroic, and massive props to BB Team, and exactly what you were just describing, Lacoste. She was not afraid to be that person that sits in the front line despite being the carry. He's okay if the black hole is used in him, knowing how much he can rely on his support, how impactful GPK has been as well.
Yeah, he definitely knew how much he can tank there, and also being very patient with his satanic. He knew that he was going to get black hole. Sonic Wave did connect for a couple of seconds, making sure that that extra bit of a damage from Templar Assassin is not getting through, and also life-stealing with that satanic still with the Aghanim Scepter, with the side gunner, and very nice read there coming on from Hero, really pushing the limits of the hero.
He had to absolutely do that, because I think if that same damage is pumped into his teammates instead of him, they lose that fight. It's legitimately...
They lose the game there.
They lose the game right there. So if he does not wait until the last second to use the satanic, let's say he uses it during the black hole, it doesn't work out. He knew that he had to push the limit there. This is the only way they're going to come back in the game, and good lord, what a comeback it was.
Yeah, what a game, yeah. That has to be by far one of the best games I've seen this week.
It wasn't just that game, it was this whole series, right? From our game 1 where we had an Aegis snatch from GPK, it feels like it was so long ago, but that was literally the same elimination series. These teams pushed each other as far as you possibly could with all of it. And so yeah, Pure going to be our standout player for that game number 3, but BB Team are going to have to play later today. You got to find some more energy in the back pocket here.
I don't know. They got to go to the sauna or something and relax, because it would be very hard to cool down after something like that.
Yeah, you have to reset. You have to forget everything that happened. Sure, it was a hype series, but you need to conserve your energy. You can't really celebrate. You need to keep your mind on the next game. You have to focus, and the job is not done.
Well, we're talking about conserving energy, but someone who has energy in buckets is, of course, our stage host. We're going to head on down to Slacks and Tsunami.
Thank you very much. Yes, we are cooling down from a very intense series, and I thought we'd play a little game of our own. And if there's one thing I've learned with my time in Germany, it's that things are very orderly and things are very coordinated. So I thought I'd do a test of coordination with 10 fans from the crowd. And we're going to play a little game. It's very simple. You're keeping a line going of one of two actions. Slacks, you're going to hold out the mic to one of them, and they're going to start out by either doing GG with GG, knees have to hit the arms, or you do well played, hands up. We already got some people who know it. Let's get a little practice run. If I say GG, or we do well played, and we'll keep the chain going, but if you mess up, you're out. All right, Slacks, you got it?
What? Okay, we got it. It's fine. Oh, we'll figure it out. All right, gentlemen, do you understand the rules? GG's well played. All right, audience, you guys ready? All right. Practice round.
Let's do a
no
practice
one is
round.
eliminated.
Make sure we all know the rules.
We're gonna go quick. Are you ready? 3, 2.
GG.
Well played.
GG.
Well played.
GG.
Well played.
GG. Well played. GG. Well played. GG. Well played. GG.
Careful. Careful, young man. GG. Well played. Well played.
GG.
Well played.
GG.
I'm seeing a lot of half-hearted hand-holding.
I gotta get those hands.
We may have to be a little bit more strict, but gentlemen, are you ready to start the competition? Crowd, are you ready to see these people be tested? All right, Slacks, take it away.
All right, let's go.
GG.
Well played.
GG. GG.
Well played.
GG. Well played.
No hands.
Oh, no hands.
The hands.
No hands.
You're out, my friend.
I'm
You're
sorry,
out.
my friend. It's a brutal series. What can you do? All right. You ready to start again?
GG. Well played. GG. Well played. GG.
Well played.
GG. Well played.
GG. Well played. GG.
GG.
Oh, no. Can't have two GGs now. You gotta say well played. It's kind manners.
All right, we'll start from here.
GG.
Well played. GG. Well played. GG. Well played. GG. Well played. GG.
Well played.
Oh, Cloud.
Thought about that one.
GG. Well played.
GG. Well played.
GG.
Well played.
GG. Well played. GG. GG.
No. What do you think?
Crowd, one more
Crowd.
chance.
Did this man do it correctly? Cheer if you think he should stay in.
All right. Lucky, lucky, lucky. GG.
Well played.
GG. Well played. GG. Well played. GG. Well played.
No.
Oh no!
They're dropping like flies.
Here we
We're
go. This is
eliminating
good.
all of them.
Here we go.
GG.
Well played. GG. Well played. GG.
No.
Oh, he said well played.
We had a knee well played.
Oh no, they're dropping. All right, here we go. We'll start from here.
GG.
Well played. GG. Well played. GG. Well played. GG. Well played. GG. Well played.
No. We had a double tap knee well played.
Sorry.
Oh, we're getting down to the wire.
We're getting down the wire. All right, here we go. GG. Well played. Well played.
No.
Bring it in. Here we go. GG.
Well played.
GG. Well played. GG. Well played. GG. Well played. Oh!
GG.
Well played.
GG.
No.
Does he stay, audience? Cheer if you want him. You're in. Last chance for you. And here we go. GG. Well played. GG. Well played. GG. Well played. GG.
Well played.
GG.
No.
I'll take it. Well played. Yeah. GG. Yeah. Well played. GG. Chocolate! I'll take last one. Last hit I'll give it, all right? Here we go. GG. Well played. GG. No, not this time. Not this time. I'm going to count that out. Sorry, my friend.
The final 4 remain.
All right, here we go. GG. Well played. GG.
No.
Okay, top 3. We need some names. What's your name?
Introduce yourself.
Daniel.
Weiren. Hassid. Okay, here we go. Our top 3.
And go.
GG. Well played. 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 GG. GG. Well played.